This is the Political Spotlight.
The Political Spotlight is a joke. It's more like a political flop.
Nobody listens to Bilbrey.
He's just a wannabe podcaster. No one takes him seriously.
He is a rude, crude dude that will never go any further than broadcasting from his mother's basement.
Bilbrey is a wrecking ball for Indiana politicians.
Grab another box of Twinkies and generic cola, Bilbrey,
And give back to your microphone and your audience of nobodies.
The Political Spotlight is a joke. It's
He is
more
like
like
a rude, crude dude that will never go
Bilbrey's a wrecking ball for Indiana politics. Shut that stupid Bilbrey up.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. We are live Tuesday, July 7th, 2026. And we are here to talk about the meetings from yesterday. Nobody abandoned us to watch Catherine White. It's the same old thing. Madison County's insane, blah, blah. No, I'm kidding. I will let everybody know. Catherine Callahan is a guest on the Mouthwash podcast. You know, that show. We generally watch Mouthwash maybe a couple times a year. I like witty reviews. Mouthwash is a little out there. It is what it is. But we're not really talking about anything that people from Madison County would care about tonight. Tonight's episode is going to be strictly focused on yesterday's Delaware County Commissioners meeting and yesterday's Muncie City Council meeting. And the fallout from those meetings, what happened during those meetings, and all of the little different nuances, the recap of the meetings, and then my commentary and analysis of those meetings and what's going to happen because of what happened during those meetings. Yesterday was a long day. Today's been a little bit better, a lot of work. But we are going to recap those meetings. And, hey, I want to welcome you all here, ladies and gentlemen, to the Political Spotlight. I, of course, am your host, Kristopher H. Bilbrey. And as always, producer Kate is at the controls, keeping the train on the tracks, if that's possible. And for that, we very much thank her. If this is your first time here joining us, welcome. If you're one of our regulars, welcome home. Here on the Political Spotlight, we cut through the noise and the spin and the nonsense to talk about what really is happening without the script, without the talking points, and without treating you like you can't think for yourself. Thank you for spending part of your evening with us. Time is the one thing none of us ever get back, and so we never take yours for granted, and we appreciate your support. Speaking of support, if you agree with what we're doing here, or if you don't agree but you enjoy it, you could take a second to hit that like button. If you haven't subscribed yet, please consider doing so. It's absolutely free. Click the notification bell so you know when we go live 5 nights a week, Sunday through Thursday at 9 p.m. Eastern. But don't just watch the show. Be part of it. Jump into the live chat. You can comment on the right-hand side over here. Leave us a comment there. Or if you're watching via replay, I would challenge you to comment in the comment section below, challenge our ideas, ask questions, let your voice be heard. As you know, the noise is everywhere. Facts are harder to find, and that's why we are here. Because the truth doesn't fear the spotlight. Let's roll. Did Sarah get you converted last night? No, I think I have converted Sarah. I think it's quite the other way around. Sarah still has, politically speaking, some probably wild ideas if we're talking nationally. I've had a real rocky relationship with Sarah. She's a nice person to interact with. I've always enjoyed talking to her. I think she bought into a lot of the horror stories about yours truly. And I think it took her quite some time to realize that, hey, maybe he does know what he's talking about. And so we'll talk about that more this evening. We're going to get right into it, starting off, though, with the Delaware. Yeah, they're all true. That's exactly right. We're going to start this evening by starting with the Delaware County Commissioners meeting, because that's the first meeting that started yesterday morning, and it will be the quickest meeting to get through. I will tell you, the meeting yesterday, the Delaware County Commissioners meeting, was about 2.5 hours long. We are not going to listen to it minute by minute. There are definitely important parts of this meeting, and I would highly recommend Delaware County citizens going back through and listening to the full Delaware County Commissioners meeting from yesterday, Monday, July 6th. At your own time, and there were a lot of things discussed. That said, there were a couple of really important parts that I think are very, very important, and so we're going to go through that. I'm going to put this up here on the screen just briefly. This is the agenda for yesterday's meeting. It was a 3-page agenda. They had a lot of things on their plate. So they had table business, approval of the minutes. They had a bunch of minutes that they went through. They had a no confidence vote, and we're going to talk about that tonight. It's kind of been mentioned everywhere, and we'll talk about my thoughts on that. And then we're going to talk about a couple of other important points of yesterday's meeting. It was a wild meeting in and of itself. So let's get into this, and we'll go from there.
Per the new website, the Proud City website that Kyle and Zach did such a great job on, there's a new interest form on there for boards of interest.
Delaware County government is currently working on a new website, and they've done a soft rollout from what I understand. I think there's still a lot of work to be done. It's definitely interesting. I don't like change. Even when something is bad, if it's been that way for many, many, many years, you kind of just get used to the badness. Then when something is updated, even though it might in time be better, and in time I might be like, oh yeah, this is amazing, I'm not happy with the new website just yet, but I'm sure in time I will be. Just getting used to where things are. It does seem like it will be more user friendly, which is something that's good for people like me and people like you. So we'll give it some time, but I did want to let people know that, because I don't think they're doing a good job of letting people know that they have a new website and you can do a lot of things from the website. It's more in line with the City of Muncie's website. It's not similar at all, but one thing I can say that the City of Muncie has done right is they have a pretty decent website. Now, that website's been in place for quite some time, and they keep adding new things to it, and that's in part because of the clerk's office and various other boards and people, but no one person gets the credit for that. But I think the Delaware County Commission, or the Delaware County government website, will be a better thing in time, but just be aware of that.
Politically balanced, so there's a place where you can put Republican. I'd make a motion to approve these meeting minutes from the June 3rd executive session.
So they were going to go through and approve the whole bunch of minutes in one go. And as you may or may not have seen or remember on there was minutes for the June 3rd executive meeting, the commissioners meeting on June 15th, the executive session on June 18th, the special meeting on June 19th, and the special meeting on June 25th. That's 5 different sets of meetings. And they were just going to approve them all at once. And one thing that I absolutely can agree on is Brand said, no, I want to take these one by one, and I want you guys to hear why he wanted to do that.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Commissioner Henry.
Yes.
Commissioner Brand. Yes. Commissioner Reagan.
Yes, thank you.
The next set of meeting minutes was from our last commissioner meeting, but there was one open item on there. It was about the vacation of roads and alleys in Mount Pleasant, the town of Mount Pleasant. And the note said that we were going to have a public hearing on that. Do we need to? It'll be the next meeting's a public hearing? Okay. Otherwise, I'd make a motion to approve the meeting minutes from June 15th as presented. So moved.
Roll call, please.
Commissioner Henry.
Yes.
Commissioner Brand.
Yes.
Commissioner Reagan.
Yes. Executive 18.
Yep. The executive meeting for June 18th was, the purpose was in special communications with attorney that are subject to attorney-client privileges per Indiana Code 5-14-1.5-6.1.
They go through this.
To approve those minutes. Second.
Roll call, please.
That's pretty
Commissioner
standard.
Brand. Yes. Commissioner Henry.
Yes.
Commissioner Reagan.
This is
Yes.
still the approval of minutes.
There's no
Now, here we
reason
go.
to do individually. There was a special meeting on June 19th because in our June 15th meeting, we did not approve the claims pursuant to the credit card conversations that we had. And in this special meeting was specifically to take up those claims. However, we had some technical difficulties and the meeting was neither recorded from an audio perspective or a video perspective. And I don't believe we had this system up here running. So there is no record of that meeting. So I just wanted to go through a couple quick things and update the public on what happened.
So I appreciate what Brand is getting ready to do here. Okay. I really appreciate what Brand is getting ready to do here. And he's getting ready to basically outline what happened in the meeting. And he's saying that there are technological problems that stopped that meeting on June 19th or whatever from being live streamed or recorded. Listen, we've canceled episodes on evenings because when you're messing with technology, the old saying, I think it's something that the philosopher Plato said, sometimes shit happens when messing with technology. I think that's attributed to Plato. But look, I get it. There's sometimes I have things that I want to discuss with you, and I come and I look down and, oh my God, my Wi-Fi thing's all screwed up, and I kick it and I take it off and I give it the old Nintendo blow and I do all this stuff and there's just nothing I can do. And I get it. Now, the county is nowhere near the city. Okay. So I'm not going to bust their balls a lot for this because the county does a good job of recording their minutes, streaming their meetings, getting things out there. If they don't live stream them, at least they're recorded and they're put out like the same day. Since they have left business with Endpoint Creative, they have done a phenomenal job. However, it is ridiculous that in 2026, if they're having problems with their live streaming camera, that they can't then just flip on a secondary camera to record the production. And if that's a problem, this little device right here, friends, is a Sony IC09 pocket recorder. It charges by pushing this little button out here, and you've got a flip out USB port. You stick it right into the computer and it powers. You take it out of the computer and I will generally power I've got 2 of these. And I keep one here in the home and I have one out in my car. And I generally will power it fully on. And then I will throw this down here in my desk drawer. And if somebody calls or I need to record something, I can pop it out and I can turn it on. And it will last me 3 months without powering it again. And in 3 months, if I flip it on and I hit power, I will have like 20 hours of record time. I put it in my car. I use it. Anytime I use it, I bring it back in. I plug it in. I download it. It downloads very quickly. It's an MP3 file. It's easy to upload, and it's there. And it might not be the best audio recording. It's not a Shure microphone, and it's not going into a soundboard, but it will get the job done. And for the fact that these people can't do this, I'm actually shocked that Brand doesn't have a personal one that he uses for this. I'm actually shocked. But if they don't even want to spend the money, I know we spend the money on a lot of shit in the county. They all have one of these bad boys, an iPhone, a Samsung, something. And these things have just about as good of a recording quality as those. They just turn their little recorder on, and away we go. Now, here's the one thing I was going to say. Maybe we could donate, and that might be something that we do. We take up an offering, and we buy a couple of these. I can look online, and maybe we could donate them to the Delaware County government and the Muncie City government. Now, here's the thing. I would do that for the county because I think they would use it. I'm a little leery to do that for the city because the city's not running on the same issues as the county. The city specifically doesn't record things that they don't want aired, period. So that's the situation there. So, okay, let's get back and keep going here.
During that meeting, the credit card claims, there was some additional information provided. We asked who had submitted their substantiation, and there is a tracking sheet. I think I've displayed this before that shows all the departments. Anybody in red are departments that are not following the credit card ordinance and submitting their substantiation. There was significant discussion back and forth about what should or shouldn't happen if people are not submitting their substantiation. Should credit cards be turned off? Should limits be reduced down to $1? Because shutting off a credit card and then restarting it's a major pain. So that was part of the discussion.
Makes sense.
I think there was a comment made about in 2024, there was somewhere around $1 million in credit card claims. Last year, that number came down significantly, probably somewhere around 50%. And so far this year, we're on track to reduce that $1 million by 70% just by asking questions and following up.
That's
there
pretty
were a couple
decent.
of special circumstances that came up, such.
What an absolute amazing example for why it's good that we exist, If you back up what he just said there, he said in 2024, the Delaware County government spent $1 million in credit card purchases in 1 year. Could you imagine? Could you imagine spending $1 million? I imagine the Vegas trip went on that card. That's a very good possibility. But last year, they cut it by 50%. And this year, and this is what Stephen Brand said, this year, they're on track to cut it by 70% just because they have been asking questions. See how that goes? Isn't that amazing? Interesting.
As eBay purchases, you have to use PayPal if you're on eBay, and getting a county PayPal account is something that we should look into, but it's not as easy as it sounds for a private citizen. So there are some intricacies there that are associated with that, but I still support the eBay purchases, specifically for obsolete parts and things you can't find. You can go on eBay and you can find things for a greatly reduced price. It saves the taxpayers money.
Sure.
So I'm all for it, but I would like to see if we can run that through our official claims process.
Yeah, let's get it going.
I corrected the record of a comment that I made in the June 15th meeting about the claims. I made a comment that the auditor had certified them. He had indeed not certified the credit card claims, but the rest of them were certified. So I want to correct that.
And I'm just saying, because I'm seeing that more and more people are jumping on here. If you're here to see the Muncie City Council meeting, we are going to get there. We're just going through both meetings from yesterday, the commissioners and then the council. We will get there.
publicly. I think at the end of the day, the claims were approved by a vote of 2-1. I still voted no to approve the claims because we're still not following the credit card process. So those are all my comments about that special meeting. If anybody else would like to.
Yes, I'll add that we also gave the auditor approval to reduce those credit cards down to $1 in the event there was some issues with spending from those departments.
So in the absence of official meeting minutes, I know we have the roll call. I think we can consider the comments just now made by Commissioner Henry and myself as the official record of that meeting. And I would make a motion to approve those minutes from the special meeting on June 19th.
I appreciate what Brand just did there. And listen, James King was here. Okay. Brand is better than James King. He does a lot of things better. There's still a lot of issues I have with Brand. I'm just going to be honest. And I don't know. I'm not happy or looking forward to a Brand and Kantz commissionership. I really do not want Kantz to win. Okay. That being said, the fact that Brand just did what he did would not have happened under James King. They would have just approved them in one go, and that would have been that. And that we didn't hear that meeting, well, screw it. We just wouldn't have heard it. So I can appreciate what he did.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Commissioner Henry.
Yes.
Commissioner Brand.
Yes.
Commissioner Reagan.
Yes. Thank you.
And the special meeting on June 25th was to declare an emergency disaster declaration.
Yeah.
Correct. Make a motion to approve those meetings. Minutes.
So
Second.
we'll fast forward
Commissioner
to
Brand.
this.
Yes. Commissioner Henry.
Yes.
Commissioner Reagan.
Yes, thank you. IRAC's funding.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I'm here to follow up from our presentation on June 1st, where I shared our Delaware County IRAC's outcome report. Since then, you should have received our budget for the 2026. And at this time, we are requesting $75,000.
Yes, we had those.
Six Puppies is on, it's on Facebook.
Budgeted in our edit. So I think all they really need to do is just give us a letter with your address and we can proceed.
We have it budgeted in our edit.
It's in our edit.
Is it in the edit that we're going to consider in today's meeting?
Well,
All right. So now here, this is important.
So I don't see a specific line item in our edit.
I forget the number. I was working on it over the weekend. I want to say it's number 12 or 9, but
9's health and wellness. And 12 is capital projects. This is our existing edit. Now the edit that we're going to take up this today, does it have that in there?
I don't remember talking about that.
that's what? Project 2, thank you.
In today's?
I don't know why we would take it out. A very good program.
It's in project 2.
Project.
Jenner's correct.
Thank you.
Yep. So we currently are funding 50,000. Is that right?
No.
And this is an increase?
No, 75.
75,000 is
Okay.
what you've funded in the past.
And this is a 1-year request?
Yes, my understanding was that it was put in for 2 years, though, this year and next year.
2026, 2027. Now this is
I
important.
believe they had originally asked for,
I think they asked for, originally it was 50, and we put 25 in last year
I think that's what it was.
to bring it up to 75.
Yeah, yes, yeah.
I'm sorry, I took this home over the weekend. Could I see your sheet, please?
I took it home over the weekend. Why didn't you bring it back? This is a
It's
meeting.
Here, plain as day. And our edit plan is from 2025 to 2028. Now, I don't know why we're changing it in the stream.
I don't remember discussing it at any time, but that's just me.
Well, why would we have it on the sheet?
I don't know, I'm just telling you. I mean, I don't,
I
believe when this program started originally, it was all supposed to be state funded.
They do get it.
And then over the course of the last few years, it's increasingly, the budget has increased, which I agree with you. It is a great program we have out there, but we need to keep in mind that unless some state funds come available, the budget's probably not going to decrease at any time. So, I mean, you got to keep paying for this.
Well, we won't be able to keep paying for it. So in 2028, the state legislature changed, and all special units of local income tax, including economic development income tax, which is what we're talking about, the edit funds.
That's right, Jack.
That goes away, and the commissioners won't have this fund. So there's going to have to be a lobbying of the county council or a different way to fund this once Senate rollback number 1 kicks in, unless something changes. This is a budget year for the next year.
Yeah.
But we won't have this funding.
So we're giving them notice now that we will not have, so that's no problem. So the next question is, in 26, 27, 28, are we going to keep it at 75?
And you're asking for funding for this year?
Yes.
Yeah,
26.
why is Sherry wanting to still talk about doing things in 2 years? We'll talk about this year. We'll give you money now and come back next year and we'll talk about it again. Maybe we will, maybe we won't. Slow your horses there, Sherry.
Did you get this budget?
Sure did. Yep.
So
Thank you for the budget, by the way. I appreciate it.
The state is giving like 425,000.
Yeah, and that is the state. There's no longer a state contract. It is all billable. So it's based on the amount of individuals that we are able to see within the county jail, as well as they're released. We have a community peer that is also working with them as they're released.
So the state gives you 425,000. Local government funds, your budget says 100,000. 75 of that's the county.
Yes.
Where's the other 25 come from?
The city has given us money in the past. We have not gone to them yet, but we will be.
Okay. So
I would
I
make
hadn't
a
heard
motion
they're
that
going
we
to go to the
approve
city
the
too.
request for this year.
I'll second. $75,000
Just this year.
for 2026.
Yes.
I'll second.
Just this year.
Roll call, please.
Commissioner Henry.
Yes.
Commissioner Graham.
Yes.
And I
Commissioner Brady.
appreciate Shannon saying that.
Thank you.
You guys do a great job. Thank you.
Yeah, we appreciate
it.
Thank you.
All right. Now we're going to go to the no confidence vote.
I will circulate. I will send it.
Vote of no comment.
Yep.
Okay.
So this is a vote of no confidence on Marion County Prosecutor Ryan Mears. This has also been done in Congress by Jim Banks and the state.
It's Lenny. It's not like that. It's just documentation of like it's just public records. So you could call and get a copy of the same records she's looking at. Like we could have them. She's just saying that like in their office down the hall is like the official copy, but she's got a copy of it at home, but she didn't bring it with her. So it's not like, you know, there's one official copy and she took it home. It's just her copy that she was working off of. She took home. No. You're fine. No, that's no big deal. If you wouldn't know, it would sound like that. So I'm glad you asked that because that can allow us to make that distinction so people know. It's not like they're just taking the last copy home. It's just having a copy. So no big deal. I heard this. Moving on. I heard this and I was floored. I thought that this had something to do with something in Delaware County. I thought this had something to do with relevance. Now, listen to me, ladies and gentlemen. I want to be very clear about this. For those of you that might not know, here's Muncie in the middle of the screen. All right, this is Muncie, Delaware County. Okay, right here. Here's Indianapolis. Okay, this is, you see Muncie. I've got it marked, and you see Indianapolis. Muncie, Delaware County is 45 or 50 minutes northeast of Indianapolis, Marion County. Okay. We're in a whole different county and there are, several counties between us. We've got Delaware County. We've got Madison County. We've got Hamilton County, and then Marion County. Okay. So, we don't govern or deal with Marion County. All right. We have a Delaware County prosecutor here, and the Delaware County prosecutor prosecutes crimes that occur in Delaware County. If you live in Muncie and you steal something from somebody that lives in Muncie, you will be prosecuted by the Delaware County prosecutor. If you live in, hey, thank you. Lenny. And those 5 pounds equate to approximately $2 here in America. So thank you, sir. We very much appreciate it. Hey, Lenny, look at this. There's the pound symbol right there. Hey-o. Anyways, so listen, here's the deal. We live in a county that has a prosecutor. And if you commit a crime here in Delaware County, the Delaware County prosecutor is going to prosecute you. If you kill somebody, if someone from Indianapolis comes here and kills somebody, they will be prosecuted here. Okay? You are dealt with where the crime occurs. Okay? So, if you steal something in Delaware County, if you rape somebody in Delaware County, if you kill somebody in Delaware County, if you sell fentanyl in Delaware County, you're going to be prosecuted. That's what I meant. Yeah, I was thinking in the old conversion, back in the olden days, back before the dollar tanked. So thank you very much. You are absolutely right. I forgot we are no longer necessarily on top anymore. Still amazing. Yeah, simple jurisdiction makes perfect sense. Okay, you wouldn't want to be living in Marion County and living your life in Marion County, and all of a sudden the Delaware County Police or the Muncie City Police coming and ganking you out of Marion County and prosecuting you in Delaware County, even though you'd never been here or something like that. Okay, so when I heard this, I was absolutely floored by what I was hearing. The Delaware County Republican, they're all Republicans, all 3 Republicans, commissioners, are wanting to have a no confidence vote on the prosecutor of Marion County, Ryan Mears. Ryan Mears is the prosecutor of Marion County. And I want to be absolutely clear. The guy is a joke. He is a nut job. He has severely hurt the citizens of Marion County. He has let the criminals run wild. That's right, the realist. He has hurt the citizens of Marion County. He has emboldened criminals and weakened the victims. And the people of Marion County need to vote his ass out. He's up for election this year, but I don't think anybody's running against him even. So something needs to happen. He needs to go. And listen, I'll even take it a step further. If the Muncie City Police Chief wants to have a commentary on how Ryan Mears is doing, I'm okay with that. If the Delaware County Sheriff wants to have commentary on that, I'm okay. If Eric Hoffman wants to talk about what he feels Ryan Mears as a contemporary is doing or not doing, I stand behind that. But the Delaware County the Delaware County Commissioners, this is political posturing, complete waste of time, bullshit.
Fraternal Order of Police have also done the same thing. So I'm going to read aloud this vote of no confidence. This is a resolution of no confidence in Marion County Prosecutor Ryan Mears, whereas the citizens of Delaware County expect prosecutors throughout the state of Indiana to uphold the rule of law, protect public safety, and seek justice on behalf of crime victims.
I don't give a shit what other people are doing in other counties. I don't care. I have no problem with what you're doing. If Vanderburgh County prosecutor is letting complete lawlessness happen down there, I could not care less. Okay? I don't care what they're doing down there. Unless I'm down there, then I hope something's happening. But you know what? I'm always gonna be protecting myself. So that's the way that we be here. I don't give a shit what they're doing down there. This is a waste of time.
And whereas Indianapolis and Marion County have experienced multiple years of elevated violent crime, including homicides, shooting, and other serious offenses, resulting in growing concern among law enforcement officials, elected leaders, business owners, and residents throughout Indiana. And whereas numerous law enforcement organizations, including the Indiana Fraternal Order of Police, representing nearly 14,000 law enforcement professionals and their families, have publicly expressed concerns regarding the policies and practices of Marion County Prosecutor Ryan Mears. And whereas elected officials and prosecutors from counties surrounding Marion County have documented increasing criminal activity involving individuals traveling from Marion County into neighboring jurisdictions, creating significant public safety challenges and financial burdens for local taxpayers. And whereas Delaware County has experienced firsthand the consequences of these policies, including major violent felony prosecutions involving multiple defendants who traveled from Marion County to commit serious crimes within Delaware County. And whereas these cases require substantial expenditures of local taxpayer dollars for law enforcement investigations, incarceration costs, court operations, public defense services, jury trials, victim services, and prosecution resources.
I hope he stopped.
Whereas Delaware County taxpayers...
I hope he stopped because somebody in here was laughing. Let me be very clear. Back a year ago, some people from Marion County came to Delaware County. They brought somebody here, and they killed him in his car, and then they set his car on fire. And you know what we did? Our cops went and found those deranged animals. They jailed them, and we're prosecuting them. And that's the message. If you come to Delaware County, you commit crime, we will come find you, and we will deal with you. That's the message you send. You let Marion County do whatever the hell Marion County's doing. This is just posturing. It's stupid. And you didn't have to be in the Fraternal Order of Police, but everybody paid into it. Made sense.
Should not be forced to bear increasing financial burdens associated with criminal justice system in another jurisdiction that fails to adequately deter, prosecute, and incapacitate repeat violent offenders. And whereas the
result, and I don't like Ryan Mears. I'm not a fan of Ryan Mears. County
create heightened risks to the safety, security, and quality of life of Delaware County residents. And whereas confidence in the criminal justice system depends upon consistent accountability for offenders, meaningful consequences for criminal conduct, and collaborating amongst prosecutors and law enforcement agencies across Indiana. And
this is
the Delaware County Board of Commissioners, the Delaware County Prosecutor, and the Delaware County Sheriff find that the policies and practices of Marion County Prosecutor Ryan Mears have contributed to circumstances that negatively impact public safety and impose unnecessary costs upon Delaware County taxpayers. Now, therefore, it be resolved that the Delaware County Board of Commissioners, the Delaware County Prosecutor, and the Delaware County Sheriff hereby declare a vote of no confidence on Marion County Prosecutor Ryan Mears. Be it further resolved that the Delaware County Board of Commissioners, the Delaware County Prosecutor, and the Delaware County Sheriff call upon the leadership of Marion County and the state of Indiana to pursue policies that prioritize public safety, support law enforcement, protect crime victims, and restore confidence in the administration of justice. Be it further resolved that a copy of this resolution be transmitted to the Governor of Indiana, the Indiana General Assembly, Indiana Prosecuting Attorneys Council, Marion County elected officials, and members of Indiana's congressional delegation.
We're going to send this so people can see it places like who cares? Let me tell you, nobody cares, because you know what? They're going to have to vote him out, and until they do, it doesn't matter.
Today, July 6th, 2026, will be signed by the three commissioners. It would be attested by our auditor and supported signature by Eric Hoffman, our prosecuting attorney, and Delaware County Sheriff Tony Center.
Now, I want you guys to listen to what Shannon Henry says here. And I don't like Shannon. I'm not a fan of Shannon. But it's interesting what he says here, because of the three commissioners, he is the only one that is a retired police officer. Shannon Henry did serve as a police officer for over 20 years. And so it's interesting what he says here.
Well done. Thank you.
Well done.
So I'm going to be honest with you. I wasn't... when I first heard about this, I wasn't excited about signing something like this. But since the prosecutor has weighed in along with the sheriff, and they are the only reason I would agree to sign this. So
I'll make a motion.
So he ultimately does sign it. Whatever. I mean, you sign it, not sign it, send it, don't send it, send us a copy of this. Brand needs to take this to Ryan Mears' house and hand deliver it, for all I care. It doesn't mean anything. It doesn't do anything. Okay. Just pointless, honestly. And as far as I'm concerned, I like Eric Hoffman. I respect Eric Hoffman. I like Tony Skinner, and they, in their professions, have the ability to speak up and use their own voices. They don't need the commissioners to co-sign their checks for them. Okay. And I this is not needed. Okay. But I wish he would have went into a little bit of his reasoning why. And I have to believe that his reasoning why is simply that we don't have anything to do with Marion County. But I like that he said that.
To approve the vote of no confidence.
I'll second.
Roll call, please.
Commissioner Brand.
Yes.
Commissioner Henry.
Yes.
Commissioner Reagan.
Yes. Thank you. It's out there. Come on. Yeah.
All right, here we go.
So I want to discuss the credit card stuff a little bit. Thanks to Commissioner Brand, I was made aware of a report that was distributed to all of you at a special meeting that we had no idea was going to be submitted. Makes my department look like public enemy number one when it comes to credit card stuff. And I need to clarify some stuff because it's not correct. I don't know who generated this report from the auditor's office, but it looks like an AI generated report. It's not anything that it's even remotely close to what we're doing. You know, one of the things that attacks in here, so understand that I'm frustrated because we reached out for months to Ed in the auditor's office about getting guidance on credit card purchases so that we didn't get into a situation where we were getting in trouble for it. And got zero response other than to get sent the ordinance each time we asked, which was pretty disappointing because we specifically requested guidance on what we should be purchasing. One of the things that we do is we travel to conferences, we travel to specialized training. This report attacks that from a quote unquote state board of accounts issue. One of the things that we try to do when we travel, especially as a group, is we try to price out airfare, hotels, conferences, all competitively. And what we found is by bundling them together through Priceline or Expedia or something like that, it's very cost beneficial to us. This report says that's a bad idea. So I guess from my standpoint, if the county wants me to spend more money when I send people to training, I'll do it individually. But being fiscally conservative, I try to save money every time we go. Everything that this report, again, looks AI generated, basically says, itemized receipts and high risk for travel bundling. We give itemized receipts for everything that we do. The other thing that's on here is Walmart purchases and stuff like that. We used to go locally and to buy paper towels or cleaning wipes or anything else. Ever since the Amazon direct stuff has come on, we use that. I just want you to know that this report is a mess, and it doesn't reflect what we're doing every day to try to save money for the county. And it was pretty disappointing to me that after reaching out for months to the auditor's office, it was Commissioner Brand that sent this to me and the other people that were affected by this, because the auditor couldn't even send it to us or give us a heads up and ask anything to do with it. I'm incredibly frustrated with the auditor's office. It's not a secret. I spoke at the council meeting the other day because we're overspent in our benefits line on a couple of our benefit lines already halfway through the year. We were assured that wasn't going to happen because of of OpenGov and figuring stuff out. And then in that meeting, it was said that apparently they knew about it and never told us. Right? It's embarrassing at this point. So I just need you guys to understand the same thing I said to the council. I'm fed up with that, with the auditor. And if I was going to do a vote of no confidence today, it would have been on the auditor.
Okay.
Burn! If he was going to do a vote for no confidence today, it would have been on the auditor. Man, oh man. I got nothing else to say there. I couldn't have said it better than Fred. You know, Fred, this Fred versus Ed deal, I can't wait to see where we are. I can't wait to see where we are going, because I don't think this is done. We saw a couple pre-fights, and then the first big fight was last week at the council meeting. Now this was the round 2, and I think I can't wait to see where else we're going here.
Anyone else wish to speak?
I do.
Oh, of course.
So let me clarify a couple things. First of all, there was a statement made at that council meeting, and the statement was made that the OpenGov software was malfunctioning, was not correct, and figuring the benefits incorrectly. That was not correct. The information that was put into OpenGov was what we received. We didn't receive it until after the budget hearings had already started. Therefore, it only gave us what we put in. And because the information put in was incorrect, that's the reason the output was incorrect. So I had nothing to do with the software, and I want to make sure that OpenGov understands and that the commission understands that we shouldn't have liability in making statements about products that we use, about vendors that we currently have, because it does put us at the possibility of that liable lawsuit if we're making claims that's untrue.
No. That is a bunch of horse shit, Ed, what you just said there. Fred can feel that the thing didn't work and wasn't right, and it was a problem. He has that right and that thought and that benefit. And if he's saying, hey, it didn't work, it didn't work. He's not the only person saying this OpenGov crap they're doing is not a good thing. We heard the 2 county government officials talk to the several other county people in various counties, and they're all saying the thing doesn't work. So this is just Ed not wanting to accept responsibility for his lackluster performance. And I want to remind you all, he's currently running for re-election, but there's nothing we can do because nobody's running against him. So we get 4 more years of him, whether he needs it or not, or whether we want it or not.
Anyone else wish to speak?
I love it.
Okay. Payment of claims.
I'm trying to think if there's anything else that happens here.
Madam President, may I make a couple comments?
Yeah.
Claims were 69 million. She just said it.
Yeah. 69 million in a 2-week run.
In the claims today, I just looked at these this morning at 6 a.m. or something.
Okay, listen to this.
The payment of ARP claims $675, but there is another ARP claim, at least in the claims.
Oh, other than the 675.
Yeah, and I marked it here under the clerk. Let me see, court administration. Nope, sorry. This was for admin and professional fees of $2,420. And I hand that down. So I think we paid correctly. I just don't think that we captured that $2,450 or $420. And if that's correct, if that $2,420 should be included in our claims, it should not be included in our payment claims, which would make both of those totals incorrect. So, well, but so there's an ARP claim in there for $675. Right. That's correct. But there's another ARP claim for $2,420. That's included in the $69,350,133.53. So if that looks, is that correct or not correct? I just want to get the totals right when we approve.
Alva, can you recall if there's anything else here that we need to listen to?
Should be ARP or not,
right? That's just how it's labeled in the claims.
If it's based on how it's labeled, it should be under ARP, but without looking at the invoice, I can't see it.
Okay. So assuming that the way it's labeled is, here's Tanya. Please. I just want to get the totals right. So SSI, that is our VIP software, $44,743.49. Food and medical for the jail, $90,042.79. Youth Opportunity Center, that's also paid out of that. That's a payment that's going to have to be considered in the future with changes of Senate Bill number 1, but the June payment, $54,166.65. I appreciate them being current. I had made comments about their latency in the past, but they seem to have cleared all that up, and I appreciate it. We have a stormwater meeting coming up after this meeting. There are 2 log jams in there. I think there's an interlocal agreement between the Muncie Sanitary District and the county commissioners because the commissioners own all the bridges in Delaware County, including the bridges inside the city limits. That interlocal agreement is to have the Muncie Sanitary District handle and clean up the log jams, get the DNR permits up to $50,000. And there are 2 claims in there for log jams that the Sanitary District cleaned up, one for $6,720.70, one for $18,970.85. Preparation for the fair, $51,590.97, as well as an additional $1,386.77. That's, getting the volunteers cleaned up and or lined up and supplies and things. Wheel tax for paving, $458,031.43. Jury duty, I'm glad to see trials happening. I think we've paid more in jury duty this year than we paid in a long time, which is good. $4,949.98 and $3,450.44. Tax sale redemptions, $17,258.72. Tax sale surplus, $124,409.24. Drainage maintenance, so this is the Drainage Board and the Surveyor's Office, $73,856.36. Financial institution tax, that gets distributed to many of the overlapping tax districts, $505,200. Sanitary District. Selma gets an amount.
Could you, I don't remember seeing, I did a search, my email, and I don't remember seeing anything, and I couldn't find anything on the search.
Okay.
So if you could find those out for me, I'd appreciate it.
Sure.
Did you make a motion to pay the claims? I'm sorry.
I don't believe I did.
I'll make a motion we pay the claims.
A second.
I don't believe I did.
Commissioner Brand?
No.
Commissioner Henry?
Yes.
Commissioner Reagan?
Yes. Payment of the ARP claims of $675.
So Brand did not vote
based on our
again.
previous conversation for the payment of claims, I would make a motion to approve an amended amount that's not on our agenda today of $3,095 for ARP. That would be $675 to Unique Computer Services and the $2,420 previously discussed. That totals $3,095 for ARP.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Commissioner Henry?
Yes.
Commissioner Brand?
Yes.
Commissioner Reagan?
Yes. Thank you. Payment of payroll for July 1st, 2026, $1,007,000, $12.20.
Motion to pay payroll.
I'll second. Are we complete now on the 2-step process? Are all departments following that? I think it went well. I heard from the Commissioner's Office and HR that their payroll process went great. So as far as we know, everybody's following the 2-step process now, right? I seconded.
Roll call, please.
Commissioner Brand?
Yes.
Commissioner Henry?
Yes.
Commissioner Reagan?
Yes. Okay.
I want you guys, this is the last thing I want you guys to listen to. Listen.
16 hours based on the tools I have at my disposal.
You bring up.
Okay.
This is reference to the 144s. I believe the auditor office has delivered those to the commissioners. You have till August 30th to review those, and you can make those any recommendations to the council up to that point.
So yeah, we did receive these right before the meeting this morning. So when you say review them, what exactly are we supposed to do?
Well, that's what the state law says. You can review.
Just review them.
But we've
Make
never,
recommendations to the council of, because what the 144s are is it's the amount of money that the departments are budgeting for any payroll, salaries, income, that type of thing for employees, including the benefits.
Is this a new law that
It's something new that they put into this year.
So once we review them, are we expected to sign off on anything? What authority do we have?
Authority?
Yeah.
I don't think you have any authority to do anything except review them. I mean,
I don't have to say, hey, I reviewed it.
there's nothing to sign. There's nothing, no action that's required to be taken. It just says review and give your feedback or recommendation to the council. And that's pretty much it.
to let the public know it's a full-time salaried officers and employees that we have been given?
I'm not sure what the purpose behind the new statute is, but that's,
You're
we're
doing
trying to
what
follow.
You're doing what you were doing.
And Sherry's trying to like pat him on the head.
To me, a review, I mean, I'll just tell you my perception. A review means I would take these and I'd bump them up against the salary ordinance and I'd bump them up against payroll records to make sure that everything ties out. And I would estimate if I were to do an audit like that, it would probably take me 14 to 16 hours based on the tools I have at my disposal. That's when you ask me to review something, that's what I would do. But I don't have any authority to change anything. I don't have any authority to make recommendations, and I don't have to sign off on anything.
So I'm not going to
may,
waste any time doing
what
it.
was suggested to us was to give it to you this early so that you guys could review them on your own. And if you wanted to have a discussion about what your thoughts were on it in a public setting, you'd have time to do so before you brought recommendations to the council by August 30th.
Now, why is it that it's this woman explaining this to them instead of stupid ass Ed Carroll? He's sitting there chomping his gum, acting like he's got both thumbs up his ass and doesn't understand that he's even being asked a question. But it takes this woman from his office to be able to tell them what this is. What she just said makes sense. Makes perfect sense. I don't think that Ed Carroll understood this. None, Lenny. Basically none. Maybe in bigger cities it has a little bit more pull. In Indianapolis it has a little bit more pull, but honestly not really. It's generally, look, it's just a union made up of officers from the area. That's all it is. So it's you might have people from the city and the county, and they're on the. It's just like, it's like working in a factory and having your union representatives being your factory workers.
Recommendations to the council.
By August 30th.
I mean, you could go back to the department heads also. They're the ones putting the budget together.
Well, thank you for that incitement there, Ed. Why didn't you say that a moment ago?
But
does council have these sheets to review?
They will have.
Okay, so they're going to do the same.
They
thing.
will have them.
I guess, let me back up.
Sure.
Does that new law require them to look at this?
No.
Just us?
Yes, you.
Okay.
Well, they pretty much looked at the budget though.
They pretty much do.
Use this and all the other expenditures or budget items. So they'll be broken down like this. Okay. This is a particular form that's been in place for 20 some odd years. And some departments have filled them out, some haven't, but this year we're required to fill them out and provide to the commissioners.
You're doing your job there. Thank you.
You're doing your job there. Thank you.
I just did a quick Google search on it, and it says that they have to present them for the county executive to review and make recommendations. They should review them against the proposed salary schedules, compare them to prior years, and make sure they line up with budget constraints. They can vote to approve, reject, or modify the proposed compensation.
Well, so they do have some authority there then. Ed was wrong.
Sounds like.
Can you send me that a link to what you're looking at?
Sure.
Okay. Thank you very much. I will send that to. I will look through that and send that to them myself.
Thanks.
Just really interesting how that whole thing shook down.
In the last meeting, we didn't put it on the agenda, but maybe we should put it back under old business. The building hours. Madam President, you were going to put together a committee. Do you have an update?
I'm kind of thinking of putting that off. It dawned on me that we're going to have a new commissioner, and so I'm just kind of wanting to delay that until later in the year, because I don't think it's fair to have a new commissioner come in, and we've already made the rules, so that's just my feelings. If you don't agree.
Yeah, nobody agrees.
Telling you.
Okay. Perf.
What happened to her all of a sudden? Because she was all keen for this last month, and now she's like, "Oh no, we'll never hear anything more about this again." So whatever.
HR has set up by PJM.
All right, we are now going to leave here, and we are going to kick into the Muncie City Council meeting, which will be an absolute blast. Before we do that, though, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to take a quick break. So you guys sit tight. When we return, we will be jumping into the Muncie City Council meeting and going through all of that mess. You guys sit tight. We'll be right back. All right, ladies and gentlemen, We are back. Hey, and we're getting ready to kick into the Muncie City Council meeting. Before we do, I just want to quickly just kind of end on the Delaware County stuff briefly and just say that that was an interesting meeting. I enjoyed the fight between Fred and Ed, and I can't wait to see more of it. I love when these people are speaking their minds and speaking truthfully and putting it out there on display. That's how it needs to be. I am so ready for Sherry Riggin to not be a commissioner anymore, but we still got like 2 more years with her, so that's sad. But it's time for her to go. She's nuts. And regardless of whether she's a commissioner or not, I am so ready for someone else to be the president of the commission. I don't know why Brand isn't taking that on. He should be. I'm assuming that he will take that role starting in January. Whether we will have a new commissioner either way, and I'm assuming it won't be Sherry again. So I think he'll probably take it. It'll be interesting to see what happens if or when he does. But that meeting was interesting, and I would recommend you guys going back and watching the parts that we didn't watch, because there are some other important stuff there. So that happened yesterday morning, Monday, July 6th, 2026 at 9 a.m. Lasted for 2 hours and 23 minutes. And that then takes us into the Muncie City Council meeting that all that madness last night started at 6:30. And boy, oh boy, I knew the Muncie City Council meeting was going to be a rather long meeting, and I was right. It did prove to be a long meeting.
Our goal is to ensure transparency, fairness,
Awesome.
and thoughtful discussion as we evaluate this request and determine what recommendation, if any, should move forward to the full council.
So essentially, this was
the request.
this is a situation where this business comes in and they're not wanting a tax abatement in the general sense of like they're wanting an abatement of the property taxes. They are wanting to not pay on their equipment, and they're wanting to get some help that way. And so this company comes in and they gave a pretty good presentation. I was rather bothered by something. I'm going to let you guys hear this. I want you to hear. I was very interested in this company and what they do. I want you to hear how the council, this committee, what they said to them. So listen to this.
The applicant is Estimo, Indiana, Inc. Location, 4400 North Superior Drive, Muncie, Indiana. The request is for a 5-year tax abatement for approximately $9.4 million in new manufacturing equipment. I'm going to list a couple of the equipments: injection molding, vibration welding, and intake manifold assembly equipment. Job.
Do you need to see it?
Regarding
I can put it up there and take that off if you want to see it.
188 retained jobs and
you still can't see it because of our banner.
Jobs. And the proposed deductions.
I guess we don't need that on there. I can tell you if it says something.
80%, year 3, 60%, year 4, 40%, and of course, year 5, 20%. Do we have anyone to speak regarding this abatement, please?
Good evening, committee.
Good evening.
Thank you for considering this application tonight. I'm Tracy Lutton with the Economic Development Alliance in Muncie, Delaware.
Now, it's quiet for 1 second, but the audio is getting ready to kick in here because they all of a sudden turned the microphones on. So give me 1 second.
I'm here to support Astimo's application for abatement. I've spent quite a bit of time with the company over the last several months learning about opportunities in front of them, the current project that you're considering tonight. And it's been exciting to hear about the continued investment in Muncie that's happened over the time since they first located here in 1999. They've been very adaptive to changes in the automotive industry, ensuring that this company here in Muncie remains stable. And so tonight's project represents the next step in that continued stability. I think it's important to share that not only do they compete with other companies for business, they're actually competing against other Astemo locations around the United States and even right here in Indiana. So as you consider this abatement, please keep in mind that this affects their overall competitiveness and how this facility is evaluated when future investments might be able to be made here and new programs are coming online company-wide. So I attached some supporting documentation to the resolution that you have in front of you, or I emailed if you need a copy. We have those here tonight, but it includes an abatement schedule. And this is an estimate to support the discussion here to give you a general understanding of the potential for abatement. I'm not saying that this is precise to the penny, but it's a calculation based on known factors today. And it also does take into consideration recent changes to Indiana law pertaining to business personal property exemption and depreciation. So their proposed investment in business personal property is $9.4 million. Obviously, this is a phased-in abatement. That doesn't mean that they don't have to pay taxes on this investment. They certainly do. In fact, this investment will generate an estimated $304,564 in new tax increment. This isn't a TIF district in the air park, so those funds will go there to be controlled by the Muncie Redevelopment Commission. And it'll provide a savings to the company of approximately $259,000. So the city receives more than the company receives in benefit. So I also want to note that they are also expanding the real estate of their property. They're expanding the building. They are not seeking an abatement on that piece of the investment. And they'll outline what that looks like during their presentation. So with that, I really thank you for your consideration, your support, in particular, Councilperson Selvey, for coming out and taking a tour and asking really great questions of the company. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Hi, my name is Kevin Mulhern. I'm the site lead for Astemo Muncie. And on behalf of Astemo, I want to thank you guys for taking a look at the information that we sent. Really appreciate that. And for having us here today. And I'd like to introduce a couple of my associates, Ms. Victoria Collier, who's our finance and accounting manager, and Mr. Toby Buchanan, who's our operations and department head. So thank you again. I'm going to fly through this information. I understand we don't have much time. So we are a conglomerate of several companies we brought together just recently, and I'll leave it at that. So we do a lot of different things. We are a technology company. We do have products that involve the Internet of Vehicles and autonomous driving. We are part of the powertrain division. We make intake manifolds, but we can make just about anything. We started out making HVAC assemblies. Now we're doing intakes.
I'm going to fast forward. I thought they said it right here at the beginning. I guess not.
Which makes us competitive, right? So that's all good. We also build chassis system products, brakes, struts, shocks, steering systems, drive shafts. We also do two-wheel motorcycle systems for all the similar products. Up right there, since you guys have the information. Yes. It's for a good cause. And then also, Women's History Month, we celebrate. We have quarterly cookouts for our folks where the management team cooks for our associates. We celebrate Easter, Black History Month. We do holiday gift exchanges. It goes on and on and on. Memorial Day raffles. We recognize our servicemen and women. We take them to the Speedway annually. Which is great. They seem to enjoy that very well. We celebrate St. Patrick's Day, Mother's Day, and we also celebrate our local interns. We're lifelong learners, and we have 4 interns currently from Ball State, and they're doing wonderful. They're great, and hopefully we'll be able to hire those folks in the future. We also have a food pantry in-house.
Yes. I'm sorry. We have 3 more minutes remaining.
Thank you. Thank you.
We have 3 more minutes. What kind of meeting tells you like, oh, we got 3 more minutes? The meeting started at 6:30. Give this guy the time for the presentation. You're voting on, and I'm not mad at Roe. The overlords told her this, so it is what it is. But I just thought that was rather interesting. We're not really interested in look, we're going to give it to you anyway, so you don't got to go through all this. I just thought that was rather odd.
Make sure that the questions are answered.
We can probably stop right there since you guys have the information. So,
Mr. Green, we'll start with you. I apologize.
No, I understand.
I know your original submission, the additional employees is at 9. Do you anticipate that to grow beyond that?
As project, that'll satisfy capacity requirements. As these projects come to fruition, if they do come to fruition, we get the business, we're competitive, we anticipate our employment to grow to 60.
Additional,
I'm sorry.
Now, one thing that I want to tell you this, and this killed me all night, and I don't know why this is, but this camera is mirrored. So normally, when you're looking at this camera, okay, from our angle, we should be able to read that symbol on the podium. And normally it says City of Muncie, Indiana, the right way. And generally, if we were looking at this at every other meeting, the man in the blue shirt would be sitting over here. It would be flipped. Okay. I don't know why this is this way, but this is how anal I am. I have already sent an email to them saying, you guys got to fix this shit. You've got to fix this because I can't deal with it like this. Because it threw me off because, well, I'll show you. I'll tell you when. I didn't even see the podium at first last night. I'll show you what happened.
Not right now. Go ahead.
Mr. Mason.
So we go through. They basically make they make a.
I believe the estimate was Tracy might be able to speak to that more.
Well, mirroring is using more memory, so there's more chances the system will crash. Now, this is not mirrored. This is the right way. See, it says City of Muncie. This is right, but it's crazy. There are 2 other public hearings scheduled after hours. I wanted to be respectful. I'm not mad at you, Ro. I'm not bashing you. I know. I'm just saying I hated that was like that. I think they should do better with the scheduling of these meetings so that it's not. I'm not mad at Ro for that. I want to put that out there. There's lots of other things that I could be mad at Ro for various reasons. No, she did a wonderful job. There was a lot of things I was very happy with Ro about, and I've told her that. I'm not mad at Ro for that. That's just is what it is.
Accurately.
Yeah, so the 5-year abatement will, it's an estimated savings of $259,668 to the company.
But this, yeah, I can't stand it that this is wrong.
Okay, she said 668, 58.
Could you repeat the savings for?
Yes, absolutely. So the savings to the company is $259,668 with a 5-year phase-in abatement, and then it'll generate to the city $304,564. And I do have a report with the breakdown year over year, if you'd like a copy of that.
Okay, now we're in interim time. And people are just milling about. We're getting ready for it. We're getting ready for the public hearing that's going to start. And much like I did for the commissioners, I'm going to present you guys with the agenda so you guys can see what we had, just so you guys can remember briefly. Okay, here's the agenda that we had last night. What we just set through was the tax abatement meeting. Okay, then it goes into a public hearing. Okay, and the first 2 items on the public hearing, resolution 10. Resolution 11, 1026, 1126, both dealt with the fire department project. Okay. Then we go into the regular meeting. We deal with the yes, sir. All of that is correct. 100%. 100%. We then go into the regular meeting.
Unless they already have an abatement
They
on
don't.
the land and the buildings, and they're just adding one on the.
Yeah, no, and that actually got asked during the meeting last night, and that's one of the things they said. And they said, no, we don't have any intention of coming back and asking for that or anything like that. Now we'll have to keep them at their word, and make sure that they don't in the future. So that's that. So this is basically the agenda, and basically everything on here is a very important action item. So we're gonna go through a lot of this. There's everybody's dose of amber if you needed it. We're getting ready to start with public hearing. Excuse me.
Amber's talking to Jeff and
Dale.
What's his butt up there, letting him know that she talked to Dan right before the meeting, and here's how they're supposed to vote.
Here's your marching orders.
We're going before resolution 10-day.
Yeah. So you'll notice first off, okay, we've got Jerry Dishman, okay, Billy McIntosh, Sarah Gullion, Dale Basham, Jeff Green, Rose Selvey, Nora Powell, and Harold Mason. That's 8. Brandon Garrett was missing in action last night. Go figure.
26.
But him being gone actually was very handy. I'm actually glad he was gone last night, because if he wasn't gone last night, there would have been some rather interesting changes, and I will talk about that. This is a time that his absence was a good thing, but this proves why being gone makes a difference. And he's going to be missing in October too. So keep that in mind.
The additional appropriations resolution of the Common Council of the City of Muncie relating to the Fire Station Number 5 project. Is there anyone wishing to speak on this?
Yes,
resolution?
sir.
Seeing and hearing none, we'll move on to Resolution 11-26.
I didn't speak. I see it, Alva. I didn't speak during 1026 because to me, what I wanted to say was the same for 1026 and 1126. So that's why I let that go. But I do get up to speak here.
Authorizing the entry by the City of Muncie into Indiana into a bought agreement, related documents for the Fire Station Number 5 project, and taking certain other action related. Anyone else wishing to speak on Resolution 11-26?
Alva. Hello there, Lenny.
Mr. Bilbrey.
Did he say my name?
Action related thereto. Anyone else wishing to speak on Resolution 11-26? Mr. Bilbrey.
He did. Do they do that normally? I've never heard them do that before. That's weird.
Kristopher Bilbrey. I thought I would stand and just speak on both of these resolutions as it's all related. I think the council needs to consider this evening to table both of these resolutions and continue to keep Ordinance 926 tabled. The council first was brought Ordinance 926 last month. You guys tabled it, and you called for a public service committee to be held and for the public and the administration to be aware and come and answer questions before the committee. The administration, meaning the mayor's office, the controller's office, the city attorneys, the bond council, failed to do that. The fire department came and spoke, but they were unable to answer any of the most serious questions. I feel that this body has a duty to the citizens, to yourself, to the administration, to the firemen, to get as much information about Resolution 1026, 1126, and Ordinance 926 before moving forward. Tonight's meeting is going to be a long meeting, and I don't know that it's respectful to anybody for the administration and those entities to try and cram that information into this meeting tonight. I think you need to table these, keep Ordinance 926 tabled, call for a second public services committee to be held, and let the administration know if they want to move forward with this, that they will attend that meeting and answer the questions. And if they don't, then Ordinance 926, Resolution 1026, and Resolution 1126 can remain tabled. Thank you.
Anyone else wishing to speak?
There we go. That's how I felt.
And
I said as much.
Seeing and hearing none, we'll adjourn. Public meeting.
Okay, here we go. Here the meeting starts. And the Citizen Community Award.
I would like to recognize a young man this evening that I had the honor to watch grow up, become a young man, carved out his own path. You know, in life sometimes we fall.
I want you guys to hear this. Hold on. Listen carefully.
I would like to recognize a young man this evening that I had the honor to watch grow up, become a young man and carved out his own path. You know, in life sometimes we fall.
Doors locked.
You can listen to it. If you go and watch it, you can hear it. I could hear it there. You can hear it real quietly. It's going dunk, 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 dunk. Now, you have to understand, inside this room, this is a big cavernous room. Inside this room, we are quite a ways from the front doors. And the meeting started here. The meeting's been underway for a few minutes, but we've all been basically here since 6:30. People have been pouring in. At some point, the last person came in, the door's locked. You've got Audie Barber standing out there with a whole bunch of other citizens, and Audie Barber said, "Don't worry, I can get them." I thought he was driving his truck through the doors. It sounded like a police raid. You can barely hear it on here, and I'm shocked that the mics pick it up. But in the room, we knew what was happening because he was beaten on that door. And I guarantee, like, I'm surprised he didn't break the door down. They say, "Oh, the doors are locked." This has to stop happening. City of Muncie. I've been attending Muncie City Council meetings in this building throughout the years since this building opened. And I've never known the doors to lock like this. I don't get it. It has to stop happening. This is on the mayor. This is on Jeff Green. This is on the council as a whole. Get this shit figured out.
Why they can't get in?
I said, I said 10, people are chuckling there. I said $10 says it's Audie Barber. And then I thought he'd be the first person rolling in. He must have been out there still puffing on one when they came because a whole bunch of people poured in. He was the last one in there. And as soon as he sat down, I texted and said, "Grand entrance, was that you beating on the doors?" And he said, "Sure was." So they come in. Mason gives his community award to
Howard told me to let you guys know there's
a barbecue man in the city. Great barbecue.
Every year.
Wonderful guy. Has had a hard life, but has came back from that.
Want to get a taste of some good barbecue?
Came back from that hard life. And has really made a name for himself, and so it was really good. Howard Miller, and great barbecue, and did a really good. Has done really well. So
13:15 East Hines.
That was good. Okay, now the meeting proper starts. They go through roll call. There are only 8 of the 9 counselors there.
Here.
Present. Here.
Here. Here.
Here.
That's right, Stumblefoot.
We're going to the approval of minutes. We have a motion.
Mr. President, I would like to make a motion, but I do have a, I would like to.
Rose Sully makes the motion, but she made a correction first, which is appropriate. There was a name that was spelled wrong. And
if we could amend that with
it was throughout the report wrong several times. She did right there.
And it's, 4 times, 5 times. Okay, thank you. With that, I would like to motion to accept the minutes as amended.
You need a motion to amend and then a motion to adopt.
Okay.
We have a second.
Second.
Roll call.
Clarification, we're voting on the amendment.
Correct.
I don't understand. Every time they vote, Dale needs a clarification. We're voting on the amendment this time. What amendment is this? Where Dale needs to start paying attention, or maybe go get some ginkgo biloba or something. If his attention span is not as long as it used to be, yeah, I don't know what's going on there, but he just can't follow what's happening, and it's getting old. Hearing aids might work.
Yes.
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 No, I'm not. I'm just that way in life, brother. I am just that way in life.
Yes. No.
I mean, I don't know where you are watching, Brad. If you just started and you're at the very beginning, we did watch some stuff in 2 speed. So I don't know if you're watching me right now. We're not, but we were back then.
Yes.
Yes.
Ah, it was the video.
Yeah.
So you're still at the beginning.
So moving on to appointments to boards and commissions. Muncie School Board, we need 3 recommendations this evening.
Okay, now I hope Ro's still watching, because I wanted to get an answer to this last night, but I didn't want to kill any of my time with this. That's hilarious, Kate. Here's what I need to know. Why did we do the school board stuff again, Ro? Because didn't we do this in June? So can you maybe fill me in on why that happened?
We recommend Ms. Latasha Barnes-Griffin as being one of the 3 recommendations from the council.
We have another.
Mr. President, I have a nomination for Dr. Lena Burkhart. Dr. Burkhart currently serves on Dr. Reynolds' CEO Advisory Council, a committee comprised of a parent representative.
Nothing really crazy happens here.
Also the director of council.
We're going to move forward.
And change the trajectory. Send it to you all, but just wanted to come and.
Great candidates. Mm-hmm.
We have 1 appointment to the Opioid Advisory Committee.
And things that we were trying to.
Okay, here we go.
Do we know that it was not indicated in the?
Yeah, I
Right.
guess it matters political affiliation, but he was on it. It was announced before.
Yes, and I guess
They needed to appoint someone to the opioid board. The person that was on the board and had been on the board and everything was okay with the board, he wants to be reappointed, and nobody else went out for it. So they're basically going to appoint the person who was on the board last year back to the board. And Dale needed to stop the meeting to say, wait a minute, are we doing the right thing? How do we know what if he's a Republican or a Democrat? How do we know if he's going to be balanced? Think about it, dumbass. If it was balanced last year and it wasn't a problem, he's probably going to be balanced this year. Dale just causes chaos just to cause chaos, I think.
kind of clarifies that.
7 members, no more than 4 of any party.
Oh.
Are there any other nominations? Okay. Signify by saying aye, those that agree with this.
Aye.
Aye.
Ayes have it. Moving on to committee reports.
Mr. President,
Yes.
I have one for the Youth Center Committee. We met on June 2nd, no, not 2nd, but yeah, June 29th.
Okay, I get it, Ro.
The meeting we had,
You're good.
we were trying to do the best. We got to remember we're in the infancy of still trying to get this committee together. And things that we were trying to discuss and find out how we're going to handle this situation. With the current mayor not being there and the deputy mayor there was questions he could not answer, and decided that we should get our.
Why are there answers that Jeff can't answer? Why are there questions that he can't answer? He has the authority to act as the mayor. Why is he not acting as the mayor? I've got a problem with that. So basically, we put somebody in charge to continue the government, but nothing's really being continued because he can't do anything. So it's basically, if Ridenhour comes back, when Ridenhour comes back, if he comes back, we're going to be stuck on May 29th. It might be September when he comes back or December when he comes back, but in the city of Muncie, it's going to be June 1st. He was put in charge, but not given access to the info he actually needs to take charge. He was put in charge, but he wasn't given access to the computers or the information or the figures. Paper tiger, absolutely.
Laws drawn up first so we can move forward. But I do want to remind everyone that in the first meeting of May 29th.
He does. He speaks to try to sound relevant. He even does it with that voice he has. And it's just like, dude, shut up with all of that, And for those people out there, it's like, man, Bilbrey's being awfully mean. Yeah, it's because I'm tired. I've been nice to these people for a long time. And I'm just to the point where you're getting what you give.
Told that money was going to go at the mock church, which was not stated in the beginning, is what I was really passionate.
This doesn't need to go to the mock church. The mock church is bullshit. That's not what Ridenhour needs. This youth center committee needs to stand their ground on this. And I agree with Wayne Scaife. I agree with a whole lot of this. It needs to go in industrial neighborhood. That's where it came from. That's where it needs to go. Period.
Because I thought it was going to be in the industry where it said last meeting, the council unanimously voted that we put it in an industry neighborhood. How this is going to come about, I still don't know. Like I said, we're still in the infancy of it. So that's all I can really say on it at this time.
Okay, Mr. President, the Tax Abatement Committee met today, July 6th at 6:30 here in City Council, and it was, the committee was, Mr. Mason, Mr. Harold Mason is a member, and Mr. Jeff Green is a member, and myself. And we had a short presentation from Estimo, Indiana, Inc.
And they give a favorable recommendation for the tax abatement.
Gave a favorable recommendation for it to come in front of the council, and so do I. They will have we are just an advisory board, and they will come in front of the council, the whole council makes that decision, and they will present their full presentations, and every council member would be able to ask questions. So I want to advise my colleagues that we did as a committee give them a favorable recommendation. Thank you.
You have a committee report?
No, I don't have a committee report, but I would actually like to ask a question of one of the committee chairs. Is that allowed? Finance Chair, Councilman Basham. The pre-budget worksheet was completed. Did you receive the information from that?
I have not.
Okay, and the budget workshop is scheduled. Do you have that date?
Yes, I do.
What is that date?
Let me see here. Do you have that date?
No, it's in the office.
Okay.
Okay. Will you either email out or in the public bring a report from that meeting?
Sure. Thank you.
Okay. I appreciate that. All right. Thank you.
Mr. Dishman, you have a committee report?
Yes.
But you see, he wants to sound relevant, but when he has the opportunity to actually be relevant, he's not relevant. Yeah, and he doesn't know dick. Maybe he does. Anyways, they asked the controller when the meeting was, and the controller's like, it's in the office. I left it at the office. I'm sitting there and I'm like, the office is upstairs. Go get it. We'll wait. This is going to be a 4-hour meeting. 4 hour and 10 minutes doesn't matter. We'll sit here and wait. Go get it. Now, listen to this. this isn't. Listen, I'm gonna be clear. I like Jerry Dishman as a man. I like him as a human. I'm tired of him as a counselor. Because listen to this report he gives. He's giving a report about the fire meeting, the Public Services Committee meeting, the first one, back from Friday, 26th of June, 2026. Yeah, that's exactly right. Yeah, they have an agenda. And I don't know, Brad. I don't know if you are caught. Brad, are you caught up with us currently? Are you caught up with us? Or are you still watching something from the old hour? Because yeah, they got a committee, but this is hey, stay with us for a little bit longer if you want to see some total unpreparedness. It's insane. This council is the king of unpreparedness.
26 at 6 p.m. in this auditorium, the Public Services Committee met, and Sarah Gullion led us in the Pledge of Allegiance. We had roll call. Jeff Green was there, and Sarah Gullion and myself was there. And we started off with a presentation from Greg Martz from GM Development. He gave a pretty good, real nice presentation.
It was wonderful.
We might give it tonight if the President Green lets him do it. And Sarah Gullion asked a lot of questions about where the temporary building was going to be at, and if the $400,000 is going to be reimbursed for the building that they're going to put up. And Chief Burford says that it wasn't. It's part of the deal for them using the property.
So just in order to spend $11 million or more to build a new fire station, before we even do that, we have to spend almost $500,000 to build a temporary building that once we build it and once we have the $11 million plus building built, we're going to walk away from the $500,000 building and just walk away from it. Just walk away from it like we do every other project and property that Ridenhour touches. I'm surprised we're not selling it for $1.
And also...
no, that's the plan for when they're done with it.
Well, yeah.
Ask about the size of the building and how many people are going to be in it and a few other questions like that. Then we went on to Jeff Green. Jeff Green asked a couple of questions about the budget. Of course, nobody was there for the budget, so we have to wait till the night for people to ask those questions.
Well, we had questions about the budget, but hey, nobody was there for the budget, so hey, it don't matter. But listen, it's going to be something silly like we had, they want to spend a whole lot of money. We're over past our debt. We can't have any more debt as a city, so we're doing an in run around that. Okay, and wait till you hear a presentation about that. We're going to get that from Todd Smeckens, and it was spot on. I love what he did. But this report that we're getting ready to get, it's going to be like, I can imagine, like, I asked questions like, is there going to be one story or two stories? Are there going to be floors? Are there going to be windows? Will there be stairs in the building? Will there be a pole in the building? Something that stupid.
And I asked some questions about if there's going to be a 2-story building, and they said yes, it was. And it's going to have a stairway, and I said yes. And I said it's going to have the pole.
Why? I'm confused. Why, after you say, is it going to be 2 stories, and they say yes, why do you then need to say, will it have a stairway? No, it's not going to have a stairway. It's going to be a 2-story building without a stairway.
like the fire departments usually have when they have two-story, and he said yes. And I think Sarah asked,
He literally said, "Is it going to have a pole that they can slide down?" He's like a kid.
The quarters for the men and the women, and he said there's going to be about 10 in there, and I think Sarah asked why so many, and he told her that
Fondy CVG. I don't know why you're here, but God, I hope you come back. That is, you win the comment. I have hated these hideous ass curtains that they have had hanging since the beginning of time. I love you. Please subscribe. We will make it worth your time. We are a political commentary program. It's total madness. And we cover local, state, and national politics. We are from Indiana. We're currently looking at Muncie, Indiana. It's a second-class city. It's one of the larger cities in the state of Indiana. Delaware County is the county, and we have about 120,000 people, something like that. So that's what this is. This is the Muncie City Council meeting, and I love your comment.
there would be other EMTs there staying and learning the EMTs, and a place where they can park the ambulances and stuff in there, in the garage and stuff.
I love it.
But
I
it
love
was
that
a
comment.
pretty productive meeting. It lasted
Jerry
almost 2
said it
hours.
was a pretty productive meeting. Dude, are you kidding me? A pretty productive meeting?
And there was about 12 people in the public that showed up for it. And overall, I was satisfied with, other than no one was here for the budget part of it, but they're supposed to.
No, there were 3 people from the public there. Period. Not 12.
To be here tonight, so that's all I got.
Okay, thank you. Deputies Committee.
Yes, Brad.
We can pass it out as long as they all have comments.
Ah, I love it. Welcome to YouTube.
Jerry, was a recommendation? You have a positive or negative?
No.
No recommendation?
Just to remind you that the Ethics Committee wanted to.
This
speak.
is the Ethics Committee. They give a presentation. We're going to slide past that.
Tie.
If it's a tie, it's a.
If something
it's a-
came up.
Okay.
We just want to thank you
This
for
is
the
important.
opportunity to serve you all in this fashion.
Could you remind us again the time on Wednesday?
5:30.
Okay, this is when I realized. I'll tell you again here in a minute.
Any other commissions, committee reports?
Alva.
I have no committee report. I was just going to ask if I could direct a question to our legal counsel.
Yes, go ahead.
Mr. Anderson, could you clarify for the
Anderson.
people?
Jeff Arnold. His name's Arnold, but he's leaving, so it doesn't matter.
Who are here with one of our members absent, what will happen if a vote is a tie?
That's
It's a
right,
tie.
Jackie.
If something came up 4-4, what would
Yeah.
that mean for that piece of legislation?
It's failed.
Okay.
Because there's not a majority. So anything that requires a majority vote, the Muncie ordinance says that that majority has to be of the council, not of the members that are present. So a 4-4 vote would be a fail. That doesn't necessarily kick that into the 1-year prohibition on bringing something back, but it would be in terms of a vote for this evening fail.
Thank you.
And I would say that the minutes should reflect that that the failure was due to the tie vote and not that it was not adopted.
I just wanted to make sure that council and that the public was aware of that situation.
Okay, moving on. Ordinances previously.
Now, there's also something very important that they should be doing right now, but they're skipping over it for some unknown reason. I don't know why, but just keep that in your mind. Keep that in your mind.
Introduced.
All right. We now go into ordinance
Dash 26.
1026, and this is an ordinance that previously introduced. This is an appropriation for the Muncie Fire Department. And the other Muncie, one of them is the Muncie Police Department, one of them is the Muncie Fire Department, Ordinance 10 and 1126. And these are okay. So we're going to, I mean, we already talked about this last month and we don't learn anything new. So we're going to speed through it. Okay.
Ordinance 10-26.
Audie's going up here to sign in, acting like a crazy person.
Ordinance 10-26, an ordinance for additional appropriation, Muncie Police Department.
Putting the money back into those.
Going to be leaving us after this meeting.
Okay.
Yes. Well, unfortunately, our
Mr. Jagan has,
So it's amended now. You've already had a vote to adopt in a second, so it's got to be opened up.
open for discussion.
Yeah, listen to this.
Discussion. No,
Did you ask for discussion or
no, he did not.
comment?
Let me tell you this. Now, let me tell you this. They make it hard. They ought to leave it on. In the past, before Jeff Green, the sign-in sheet stayed on the clerk's table until the end of the meeting. But now they take it up at the beginning of the meeting. So if somebody comes in during the meeting that wants to sign up, you got to show your ass like Audie did. They need to go back to how it was. They need to not make things hard.
I don't think you through discussion or comment. You voted on the amendment, correct? So it's amended and now. You've already had a vote to adopt in a second, so it's got to be opened up.
Open for discussion. Any questions from council or anyone concerning ordinance 10-26?
They try not to do this frequently, and it's so frustrating.
President, I would just like to make a comment to the public that this is actually just a housekeeping ordinance. This was because of a kick out in Gateway. Fund 105 and 106, which pertain to our local income taxes for our police and fire departments, were inadvertently kicked out of Gateway. So this is just putting the money back into those budgets that we appropriated.
Nominations from council for leave.
Right, though.
yes. Mr. Jagan has,
6, which are
Oh, yeah, I want you to hear this.
local income taxes for our police and fire departments were inadvertently kicked out of Gateway. So this is just putting the money back into those budgets that we appropriated last year. So these are housekeeping issues.
In the middle of Ordinance 1026, this was the one weird thing that Roe did, and I think it's funny. So Roe caught the thing that they screwed up on. Watch this.
Mr. President, I do.
We're in the middle of Ordinance 1026 discussion, and then Roe brings this in.
I do have a concern. I do believe that Mr. Jagan has turned in his resignation, correct, Mr.
Yes.
Jagan? And I think we forgot to do that at the beginning, so I would like to bring that.
Well, finish this and then.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then we'll, okay. So
Yeah.
that's what I'm planning to do, except
Okay,
yours.
yeah,
Thank
like maybe
you.
after the previously introduced
Okay,
ordinance, just wait to get
just want
through
to make
this
sure. Okay,
class and then, yeah.
okay, thank you
I'll be
so
here all
much.
night though.
Yes.
Yeah.
Roe, you nut job.
10-26.
Everybody knows it because Roe can't read.
I'll
Roll
explain.
That's an inside joke, everybody. Or no, I should say that's an inside joke, Roke.
Yes.
Or joke, Roe.
Yeah.
I know she can read.
Yes, yes.
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 It's an inside joke between us. I say Roe can't read, and Roe calls me an asshole. See, it works out perfectly.
Well, unfortunately, our legal counsel is going to be leaving us after this meeting tonight.
So Jagan Arnold said, do the now after that, they voted on 1026. Jagan said, get through the ordinances previously introduced. And yes, I'm wrong. She's correct. That's exactly right, Alva. But they didn't do that. He's like, oh, well, we'll screw it. We'll just go ahead and do the attorney now.
So we have to come up with new legal counsel, and we do have opportunity to nominate legal counsel this evening for our next meeting in August. So we'd like to know if there are any nominations from council for legal.
I would like to, counsel, I would like to nominate Mr. Brandon Murphy as our legal counsel.
Listen. So we talked about this a couple weeks ago. We knew Jagan Arnold was leaving. I was not happy with Jagan when he first took over. I didn't know how he would be. Jagan surprised me. Jagan did well. He was not, because I knew he was a hard Republican pick, but he didn't play politics. He told them the law as it was, and I was happy with him. I knew he wouldn't stay long. When I walked in, I saw Brandon Murphy was there, and I was like, yes, Brandon Murphy is going out to be our new council attorney. I was so excited because Brandon is badass. Brandon has been the attorney on and off at different times. And then they will get rid of, like, a new council comes in, he's been the attorney. He's been the county council attorney. He is good at this. Brandon and I are pretty close. We fight about things, but we also communicate well. I like Brandon as a person. When I walked in and I saw he was there, I was so excited. But while all this, we're not even into the madness yet, but I knew he was there, and he sat behind me. And during the meeting at one point, I wrote this to him. Are you sure you want this mess? And he laughed, and we had a little laugh about that. But I'm so excited
Mr. Murphy,
that he's going to be the new council attorney.
So that is my nomination. I would second that.
There was no one else. I like it. Roe, a Republican, made the nomination. A Democrat, Sarah, seconded it. So it's a bipartisan push. And Brandon is a kick-ass attorney.
And seeing none, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Mr. Murphy will be our new legal counsel.
Congratulations, Mr.
Brandon's awesome.
Congratulations to Attorney Arnold for his new job.
And you know what? He didn't get up and walk out right then. He could have got up and walked out right there. He sat through the whole 4-hour meeting. Brandon is diehard.
And he'll be in perfectly capable hands.
Thank you.
Okay. Moving on, ordinance 11-26.
Ordinance 11-26, an ordinance for additional appropriation, Muncie Fire Department.
Mr. President, I make a motion that we adopt ordinance 11-26.
We have a second.
I second.
Okay. Any discussion?
Now, you hear how the president is quiet, okay?
Questions from council or points?
He's just real quiet. It's like he doesn't.
Yes.
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 A couple people were saying he was quiet. Jackie was one of them that said he needs to speak up more.
Moving to ordinance 12-26.
Ordinance 12-26, being an ordinance to amend the City of Muncie Comprehensive Zoning Ordinance from the R2 Residence Zone to the BV.
1226 is a zoning. I had no issue with this. I liked
President, I
it.
make a motion that we adopt ordinance 12-26.
We have a second.
Second.
Any discussion concerning this? Questions from council or audience?
But you can't ever say Kristopher Bilbrey doesn't listen to the wants and wishes of his audience. Because they say we can't hear, I turn up the volume.
I'm all in favor of this ordinance, vote and move forward, but the public's asking if Council President Green could speak up because they're not being able to hear you. Thank you.
Now, let me tell you, this is when I realized that something was wrong and the image was mirrored, because when I walked up to speak at the podium, Audie wasn't on my right. He was on my left. And I was like, wait a minute. Audie wasn't on my right. What's going on? And then I'm like, oh, damn, the video's mirrored. So, yeah, they got to fix that.
Any other questions concerning ordinance 12-26?
They vote on it. It goes through. It's perfect.
Roll call, please.
Yes.
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 Ordinance 10-26. And
926.
Okay, so she says 1026. So then he speaks up and says, no, 926, which is the ordinance that was tabled. And I spoke up and said, no, it was tabled. Now watch what happens.
It's 926.
Ordinance 9.
Yeah. It was introduced last month. It was.
Yeah, so 926.
I said it was introduced. I don't remember it being introduced. I thought they tabled it and sent it to committee, but they're also saying it was introduced. So this was a little bit of confusion here. And Lacey motioned to me there. You saw it, and she said that was my fault. I don't remember that. I'm going to have to go back and listen, but I don't remember them introducing it. But here we go.
Since it was in committee, it needs a majority vote to it was voted into a committee. It needs a majority vote to come out of the committee.
I ain't never heard that before. I've never heard that. They've never done anything like that. They have never done anything like that. I think that's wrong. I think if something's tabled, it has to be voted on to be tabled out. I have never heard them doing that before. Anything that's ever been sent to committee. See, here's the problem. Matter of fact, it's going to take just a second, and I know it's late. It's going to speed along here quickly, but I'm going to go back and watch just briefly because we need to know, because I think they pulled a fast one, because you can't introduce something and table something at the same time. You can't do both. You can table it and send it to committee, and you can introduce it and still send it to committee, but you can't introduce it and table it. And it says introduced and tabled, and you can't introduce it and table it. Here we're in 926.
We have a motion and a second.
2 questions that council and the public may have.
I'll say yes.
Here it is.
What else?
One, generation, election season. But obviously, Nora and Sarah went out and met with Ball State and helped secure that money and had played a role in looking at the station. And all you guys have played a role through this journey of getting these stations fixed over the last 5 or 6 years now. So obviously, I look forward to having all your guys' questions answered at a public hearing, and so we can get this roll next month. And like the first gentleman said, the BROT process is a completely separate, but resolution that'll come. So, thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Anyone else? Okay, we have a first and a second on this. Roll call.
Yes.
Yes.
I'll say yes.
Yes. Right now, I'm gonna say no till I get more information, please.
Yes.
Yes.
Mr. Mason?
Yeah.
President Green?
Yes.
Mr. President,
Yes.
I'd like to make a motion that we send ordinance 9-26 to the Public Services Committee for further exploration.
So was that just introduced? Is that where it was introduced?
If it's going to committee to make amendments, is that what?
Introduction to spend the month in addressing the issues that have been raised tonight before final passage next month.
Yes, certainly, Councilor. I've heard the questions tonight, and they can be emailed to me, or I can address them, or you can send additional questions to me, and we can get together with the team and provide you with responses ahead of next month's council meeting.
Would it be possible then, since we talked about finding additional information, if we sent ordinance 9-26 to the Public Services Committee? Not interfering with introduction or progress, but just so that we can have a formal committee meeting with Chairman Jerry Dishman to receive that information, so that it's not just council, but also the public can be made aware of how we're going to proceed. Yep. So I make a motion that we send ordinance 9-26 to the Public Services Committee for further review.
I'll second that.
Okay, so they just made a motion to send it to committee. So that's the first motion that was made. They made a motion to send it to committee. Okay.
Okay. Well, thank you very much for your time, and we'll look forward to responding.
If I might have a point of order, Counselor, we have a motion and a second on the desk. We also have a recommendation and a second to send it to committee.
Okay.
What are we expected to vote on here, first and second?
If it's going to committee to make amendments, is that what you're proposing?
Not even amendments, just for further review and to find out information about what's within.
Okay.
So we would need to introduce, correct?
Yeah, it needs to be,
Correct.
there's the main question hasn't been answered yet. So you can make a motion after it's been introduced.
I will.
To send it to a committee.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. So they did introduce it. So then that's weird. Okay. All right. So I don't know then why everyone said that it was tabled. And I do appreciate Lacey saying that she made that. I don't think that's on her.
Oh, I don't want to obstruct it.
I'm not clear. You have to say that again.
I don't know why he wouldn't be clear on that. That was clear as mud. I don't even want it to be introduced. And why would Dale not understand that? He is so backwards.
We have two motions and seconds on the open. We have a motion and a second to introduce, and a motion and a second to send to committee.
Yeah, that's the same question you just
Does the committee
asked.
override the motion to
No, it
introduce?
doesn't.
Or must we vote on both of them?
So
no,
it needs to be introduced and then it can be sent to a committee.
Okay, gotcha.
Vote on.
Before he became the vice president, vice chair, whatever the hell his title is, did he give a flying fuck about procedure the way he seems to now?
No, that's what's so crazy to me. That's what's so nuts, man. He just did whatever. Hell, he didn't even know. He didn't matter if he signed a document. Other people could sign it for him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like he talks just to remind everybody, I'm sitting in this chair. I'm important too.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Absolutely. So, okay, that's that. And I will tell you, you notice how the lights in here look white? I want you guys to see this. I was sitting in the council meeting last night and I looked down and I said, oh my God, I'm dying. I'm jaundice. I want you guys to look at the reason why I thought that. This is the meeting, how it looked last night. All the lights were yellow in there. I looked literally like I was dying.
And then it was introduced, but it was sent to a committee. So it's going to need a majority vote from council to come out.
So how's that stated? then?
Hey, game daughter, thank you very
Somebody
much.
needs to make a motion to.
I'm
bring that
so
up.
happy that happened. I don't know who you
Second,
are, but
and then a roll call vote.
yes, cool.
And then it can come back up for a vote for adoption.
May I ask a question? Can we not discuss it until that's been done? No discussion, I would imagine, until it's been put out there.
Well, what's still with the committee, and so to have any kind of discussion, it needs to be brought out of the committee, or the committee can continue its discussion if it doesn't have a majority vote to come out.
Entertain.
May I, Mr. President, may I ask a question? Yes. Again, if a motion and a second is offered and it is to bring it out of committee and it's a 4-4 vote.
Now listen to this. I cannot comprehend this. Nora, now I know in our timeline we jumped back and forth, but at the time Dale is asking this last night, literally 5 minutes before, Nora had just made the mention to ask the attorney, since we have a member missing tonight, and there are only 8 of us, what happens if a piece of legislation is voted on and the vote is 4 yeas and 4 nays? What happens? And the council attorney said it fails. not for a no vote, but it fails because you didn't meet the approving vote. And Dale literally 5 minutes later asked the same damn question. Absolutely insane.
Remains in committee. Is that correct?
That's correct.
So yeah, if it's in committee and you vote to pull it out of committee, which is still, I will say, I've never heard them doing that. That's weird to me. If it's not tabled, I'm glad this happened. I think they've done something weird because it probably shouldn't have happened like this, but I'm glad it did. Very strange. Anyways, I've never heard of that before. But the point is what they're voting on currently is to pull it out of committee or to leave it in committee. So in order for them to pull it out of committee, we have to have 5 yeses and in order to pull it out of committee. Even for them to decide to then pass it. So if they would have voted to pull it out of committee, they could have passed it last night. Listen how critical Brandon's role is. See, we've been mad at Brandon in the past because he's missed. Now the administration can be mad at him because if Brandon was there, they would have passed Ordinance 926 last night. No questions. If Brandon was there, it would have passed. So listen to this.
Motion to bring out of committee ordinance 9-26.
With that said, I will request ordinance 9-26 to be taken out of committee. So
That's the one thing I was mad at Roe for last night. I wish she wouldn't have done that. It shouldn't have been taken out of committee because we didn't get any questions answered during the committee. It needed to stay in committee so we could have a second committee and get answers, which she later rebounded on. So I that's the reason I didn't give her any hell for that. But when she did that, I was like, ugh, no, it should have stayed there. But she made the motion.
Do we have a second?
I second.
And of course, Dale seconds. So now we've got to vote.
Roll call.
Yes.
Dishman voted yes to pull it out because Dishman doesn't matter. Dishman for the last several years has voted no to everything Ridenour's wanted. Then he became a trans Republican, and now he votes yes to everything Ridenour wants. It's insane.
No.
So 1-1.
No.
1 to 2. The 1 is yes and the 2 is no. So 1 to 2.
Yes.
2 to 2.
No.
2 to 3.
No.
2 to 4.
Yes.
3 to 4.
Yes.
4 to 4. Bing, 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 bing. It stays in committee. Never heard them do that before, but I'm happy.
So it stays in committee. Okay.
So it stays in committee.
And do you see how self-righteous Dale gets? I swear he almost goes, Listen, we'll go back and listen right here. 1-4-15. We'll back it up to 1-4. Listen to the noise he makes. He goes,
Okay.
So it stays in committee. Moving on.
And that was me clapping. Okay, so then now we move forward back to where we were, 112.
That's okay.
Okay.
District.
Mr. President, I move that we introduce ordinance 13-26.
I'd like to second that.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. 1326. This is the
City
McKinley
Council,
thing.
I'm
This is
Wagner
big.
From the Planning Commission. This is a consideration for an addition to the City of Muncie Comprehensive Zoning Ordinance to establish an overlay district designated as the McKinley Overlay District, outlined in the presented language with tailored regulations in an effort to guide future development. This application comes out of a grassroots led initiative to protect, preserve, and promote the unique character and sense of place of the McKinley neighborhood. The overlay district regulations would set appropriate design standards of similar quality, require consistent yet complementary design.
Quality yet comprehensive. What you say? Quality and complementive design.
And capitalize on the area's current assets. One goal is to incorporate the historic fabric of the neighborhood. Benchmarks for attracting new and exciting development. The organized group leading this consideration drew upon the existing overlay districts, the Village Review District, and the White River Canal District. These current overlays have been in effect since 2013 and 2018, respectively. The McKinley Live, Learn, Redevelopment Opportunities Plan, Comprehensive Revitalization Vision, and Design Guidelines also provide strong backing to this proposal. The proposal consists of 6 areas with unique purpose and intents and includes regulations for streetscapes, lighting, awning, signage, landscaping, building forms, design, materials, fencing, parking, and mixed-use opportunities, just to name a few. These guidelines would promote a vibrant and unique mix of residential and commercial development with a strong pedestrian-friendly, village-like atmosphere. A DMMPC
Wait, what's bullshit,
planner
Alva?
reviewed and offered suggestions on the initial draft proposal, and those suggestions were incorporated into the draft prior to the
what
Plan
Kate
Commission
said is
meeting.
right.
The DMMPC received 21
This
letters
is
of
right.
support for the proposal and no letters in opposition. The Plan Commission.
Now
gave
that's big, what she just said there. Now, I want everybody to remember what we're talking about here. I want everybody to remember back a couple weeks ago, several episodes ago, when we listened to the Muncie Redevelopment Commission meeting from last Thursday or 2 Thursdays ago. And all of the neighborhood people were there, and they were wanting the administration to stop what they were doing. And Jeff Howe basically called them all liars and told them they were all pathetic and they were basically just shut down. This piece of legislation, Ordinance 1326, was the last-ditch effort to be able to, for the neighborhood people, the people who live there, the stakeholders, the people who own property there, to be able to stop Ridenour and his freak show from doing whatever the hell they want to do there and cheapening it up. And so these people have been fighting and fighting and fighting. And this is the way to break it down to simplest forms. Okay? For years, the city, okay, and the neighborhood have been working to build this place up and make it a good, thriving place that people would want to live, and it would be historic, and it could bring new people in and still be home to the old people that live there. And they worked together. Oh, yes. Okay, you're right. Because this thing is good. They worked together, and everything was good. And things were going well. And they even started building those townhomes there, and that was going well. But then at some point, things changed. And Ridenour and Jeff Howe broke away from what the neighbors wanted and the stakeholders wanted and the people who have the most to gain from it. And they started doing different things. And then they sold like 12 lots of property off to a developer for $1 a lot. And these developers didn't have the same standards that the Crew or True Construction, whatever the names are, Jonathan Chainless and all them, they actually did a good job and did good on the townhomes. And they have started saying they're going to cheapen it up and it's going to be whatever it is. And you guys are all liars and it is what it is. Okay. And the neighbors and these stakeholders were saying, no, please, just listen to us. And they were all called liars and idiots. And, it didn't matter. It didn't matter what they wanted because Jeff Howe had a plan. And that's all that mattered. Okay. That's all that mattered. And they were treated like dirt when they went to the MRC. They were shut off. They were not listened to. Their cries were not heard. And this piece of legislation was the last ditch effort. And let me tell you, it really needed to be in place before any of the stuff could start. And so while I fight very hard and I'm very adamant that we should never suspend the rules unless we are under the most extreme circumstances, there are times it makes sense. Most of the time it does not, and I am never in favor of it. I'm in favor of the process playing out. I absolutely backed this ordinance, and I backed this ordinance not only being introduced, but the council suspending the rules and the council passing this all in one go. So the neighborhood and the stakeholders and the owners and the people that love this area could have protection.
Favorable recommendation with a vote of 8-0 with one absence, with the addition.
And there was no opposition to this ordinance. Matter of fact, these people even have letters of approval to this from Ridenauer and from Jeff Howe. And they use those to their benefit.
Of 8 feet for a privacy fence and 6 feet for trash screening, and that recommendation was incorporated into the draft that you received. Rebecca Hanna, one of the committee members that worked on drafting the proposal, will present the presentation. Thank you.
We're going to speed through this. We're going to listen to parts of it.
My name is Rebecca Hanna.
She's a realtor.
Thank you for the opportunity to present this evening.
Did a great job.
Before we begin, I would like to recognize the team that helped draft this ordinance we are presenting today. These individuals have dedicated countless hours over the past several months to develop a proposal that reflects the values, needs, and aspirations of the McKinley neighborhood. Bruce Rector is the president of the McKinley Neighborhood Association.
Bruce Rector.
Robertson is the vice president of the McKinley Neighborhood Association.
Robertson.
Bill Inman was a neighborhood association member and 20-year resident. Joe Robertson is a neighborhood association member and 20-plus year resident. Bill Lett is a neighborhood investor, developer, and owner of Seven Rock Brew and Elm Street Brewing Company. Jonathan Chambliss of Crew Construction, neighborhood investor and developer. Phil Tevis, landscape architect, neighborhood investor, and owner of Flatland Resources. And I'm Rebecca Hanna. I'm a realtor and McKinley neighborhood advocate. This ordinance was developed through collaboration among residents, business owners, developers, real estate professionals, and planning experts who share a common interest in the future of the McKinley neighborhood. We also benefited from the advice, feedback, and support of many neighbors and community stakeholders, as well as key figures throughout the process. At this time, I'd like to introduce Phil Tevis. Phil will provide a brief history of the neighborhood and discuss the investments, revitalization efforts, and community support that have helped shape McKinley's growth and success over the years.
Good evening. I have to plug this in.
He put on a great presentation. We're going to fast forward through this. You guys can go back through if you want to watch this on your own if you didn't watch it last night.
So 1998, Ball Corporation leaves. So that takes
this basically what this map is this graph shows the citizens living in the downtown area. From 98 to 2017, and that's what this is.
Fortune 500 executives out of our community. In 2002, Indiana Steel and Wire left. 2005, Katrina happens. I'm going to explain why that matters.
And this is really crazy. So we had some major losses here. Ball Corp leaving in 98, Indiana Steel and Wire closing in 02, General Motors closing in 06, Hurricane Katrina hitting in 05, and people say, well, it's Muncie, Indiana, so why does Hurricane Katrina matter? You'll understand here in a minute.
2006, Chevy transmission leaves. 2008,
financial crisis in 08, Port Warner closes in 09, and then the sewer separation mandate. So essentially, because of Katrina, the federal government said that everybody had to get their flood plains, their flood areas, up to par, up to Katrina standards, and so that's why that matters.
And in 2017, we had the financial collapse of the Muncie school system. That all translates to a decline in 2021, and we've had a slight uptick in our population. The one thing that everyone asks when we make this portion is, why did the population rise after Ball Corp left, and why did the population rise after 2008 and financial crisis? That's directly associated with the increase of population at Ball State University. So once you take that out, we have a trend down. Here's the corner of Columbus and Jefferson. Today, that looks like this, ready for redevelopment. This is looking south on Elm Street towards the levees. Today, that is an open area.
Beautiful.
With that, I'm going to hand it off to the person.
They've done great work,
and that is Joe Roberts.
They need to keep the work going.
Hello. Good evening. My name is Joe Robertson, 608 North Elm Street. It's a pleasure to be here with you tonight.
Over the past several months, much of the conversation surrounding McKinley has focused on its future. Residents have consistently said they welcome growth and investment. What they want is growth that aligns with the long-term vision that has been shaped through decades.
Long-term vision
is education, and this supports the investments like Muncie Central High School and the YMCA. And Area 4 is mixed use.
I want to get up
high-density
to
residential,
where
encouraging compatible.
he reads the statements.
Good evening. I'm Bill Inman, and I live at 654 North Elm, and I work at 652 North
See you,
Elm.
Alva. I will be there in
I'm going to go through
person.
Many letters of support that we received for this overlay. Dear Kylene, I am unable to attend your meeting on June 4th due to a medical procedure, but wanted to provide a letter on the topic. I, as mayor and the city of Muncie, are in full support of the McKinley neighborhood.
This is
overlay
Ridenhour.
district. The mayor's edit account authorized and funded the McKinley district design guideline standards a few years ago. These guidelines are the development standards that provided guidance for the overlay standards. Development has already begun in the neighborhood, which is exciting. The city, on any property we owned, has required developers follow the construction guidelines for buildings to meet those goals. This development includes, but is not limited to, the beautiful townhouses by Crew Construction across from Muncie Central that are nearing completion. As an important note, there's been a project management team meeting on this redevelopment for more than 8 years. This PMT, which includes representatives of Minnetrista, Chamber, City, and McKinley neighborhood leadership, meets monthly. That group has been given input, which helps shape the design standards for this overlay district. We're pleased to see this move forward. And that is Mayor Dan Ridenhour. This letter is from Jeffrey Howe.
Jeff Howe is this letter.
President, Muncie Redevelopment Commission. As director of the Muncie Redevelopment Commission, I am writing in support of the proposed McKinley neighborhood overlay district. The Redevelopment Commission recently entered into an economic development agreement with a developer to construct 32 housing units in the McKinley neighborhood, including townhouses and duplexes. Throughout the planning process, the City and Redevelopment Commission have emphasized the importance of ensuring that the project reflects the character and vision established by the neighborhood. To achieve this goal, the Economic Development Agreement incorporates applicable design and development standards directly taken from the McKinley neighborhood guidelines. By including these standards in the agreement, they become enforceable project requirements and provide a clear mechanism for ensuring compliance throughout development. The proposed overlay district represents a logical and positive next step in advancing the neighborhood's long-term mission or vision. It would provide greater clarity and predictability for residents, property owners, developers, and city officials by establishing a consistent framework for future development and redevelopment within the neighborhood. Most importantly, the overlay district would make neighborhood standards enforceable through the development review process, helping ensure that future projects remain aligned with the character and development objectives identified by the community. This added level of certainty benefits both residents and developers by creating clear expectations and a transparent review process. The overlay district also complements the current housing project by reinforcing many of the same design principles and development expectations already incorporated into the Economic Development Agreement. Together, these tools can promote quality development, preserve neighborhood character, and support much needed housing opportunities within the community. Thank you for your consideration. Sincerely, Jeffrey Howe. Thank you.
I don't understand that. It's never been like that. It's mirrored and it's blurry, Game Daughter. It's never been like that before. I wrote a message to them about the camera being mirrored. I guess I'll have to write another message to another email about the blurriness.
The McKinley Live Learn Neighborhood
They can fix it.
and have been president since 2018. From a historical
This gentleman
perspective,
gives
I
the
was born
same
in
presentation basically that he gave at the MRC. We covered that the other day. So we'll move forward here.
Of support. But one thing I want to point out is just as important as our committee's work was ensuring that residents had a voice in this process.
Now here it cleared up.
We held special meetings. We shared information through the neighborhood by knocking on every single door. We distributed information and we actively sought feedback from residents and property owners. And the response was clear. We collected 50 signed petitions supporting the overlay ordinance from a neighborhood of approximately 120 homes. So through the process, we welcomed questions, discussions. Support remained overwhelmingly favorable. And residents consistently expressed a desire for reasonable design standards. So given the extensive public engagement, the support from the mayor and Jeff Howe, acting mayor Jeff Howe, the strong neighborhood support and the unanimous favorable recommendation from the Plan Commission, I respectfully ask the council to
what
approve
they're
the overlay
doing in the
ordinance.
background.
And I also ask that tonight, if you
Trying
would,
to figure out
suspend
the
rules
doors.
And allow a vote this evening for final adoption. So we appreciate your time, your consideration, your service to the community, and anybody from the committee would be happy to take any questions that you have tonight too.
Any questions from the council tonight?
Mr. President, well, that was 101, how to introduce an ordinance. Let me ask specifically for you to clarify the how the overlay, primarily residential standards, impacts Muncie Community Schools, the YMCA, and then even the field house's ability to make additions without.
Yes.
Dr. Reynolds did write a letter of support. I'd like you to describe for us how that is going to work.
Okay, thanks for asking that question. We've been working with Jim Lowe for quite
Yes,
some
Game
time on
Daughter.
the ordinance to make sure that the school
Obviously,
and the Y would
it's
be
going to
satisfied with the
benefit. It's
ordinance.
only going to benefit
great
the
benefits
school
to the
and the
ordinance for the
Y.
school
It's
is the
crazy to
adoption
think
of
that
that.
it wouldn't. Kristopher Bilbrey. I just want to say that I'm very happy and I'm proud to see the residents of Muncie coming together and speaking out for this. I've been paying attention to this for a while in the Muncie Redevelopment Commission meetings, and I do not live in this area. However, I'm coming to you to speak in favor of this ordinance. I am not normally in favor of the council suspending rules and introducing and then passing something in the same night. However, as we know, there are certain instances where that is something that is needed. There have been many involved, either residents, stakeholders, property owners, and people from the city and elsewhere working on revitalizing this neighborhood for many, many years, and everything has seemed pretty okay. But recently, there's been some kind of a breakdown, and there have been some issues, and that's kind of pitted, from my perspective, some of those stakeholders, residents, against folks in the mayor's office or the MRC. However, this ordinance is overwhelmingly supported by both of those sides. So as a viewer, a commentator, and somebody watching from the outside, I would ask you to suspend the rules, to introduce this, vote, and then suspend the rules to pass this evening so this can be in place. Thank you.
Okay. Speak tonight. Order 1326.
You know it.
In general, one thing that I think is amazing about Muncie are the neighborhood associations in the neighborhood. They work
Rose
so
comment
hard
is
to
spot on.
improve- I mean, to improve where they live and where
Muncie's
they work,
neighborhood
and
associations are
not
really
too
a
many
good thing.
communities have that, so it is a blessing, and I'm grateful for every community or neighborhood association and all the hard work that they do to improve the city as a whole. Thank you.
Any other council members with questions? I do have a question for your group tonight. What is the purpose of suspending the rules? What will you gain in 30 days?
What do we
You
gain?
wouldn't if we didn't.
I'm going to ask them that from now on. Anytime they want to suspend the rules, what's the
Projects
purpose?
that are
What do we gain?
started or
We are just overwhelmed by the amount of support that we received from this. I think, like Kristopher said, we have support from the city. We have support from our neighbors. We feel like McKinley is very ripe for development, that, things are coming. And so we would really be excited to get this going as soon as possible. The process to develop a review committee is going to be part of, the time that it takes. And so if we could have something in place sooner than later, we would appreciate it.
okay? Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. McIntosh.
I probably could answer that because you got all this support.
Yes, it's the protection, and let's be clear. I knew that this was going to be introduced. I figured they would introduce it, and I figured that they might pass it, but I thought that they would drag it out because all it took is one council member to say no, and they couldn't have suspended the rules. It only took one council member, and with Green asking that, I thought we're not going to get it. It's not going to happen. And really, you got to understand, the MRC meeting will be held not this Thursday, but next Thursday, and you never know what they're liable to do. It all started in March.
Why not? There's cases where we can do it.
Yep.
Let's just do it.
Yep.
That's exactly right.
I'll make a motion.
Yep. Good job. I'll second that.
And what Billy Mack said there was right.
And you're good. So not take a roll call vote so you can get 2/3.
So to clarify, if I may, I just need to understand what I'm voting on, and I think others might appreciate that too.
Dale
We are
doesn't
not
know what he's
just
voting on,
the
ever.
ordinance itself, but we're also voting on expediting it.
You introduce it,
Suspending the rules.
then you vote on suspending the rules, and you go from there.
So we have-
It is not that hard.
I think we can all guess what the outcome
Perfect. I just wanted to be clear.
The first vote will be to suspend the rules this evening.
So they vote. They vote. No, the first vote is to introduce.
Isn't the first vote to actually introduce the ordinance?
Yes, that's my.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my.
Okay.
That's my.
But we didn't vote on
We didn't vote on it, actually.
Thank you. Thank you for the clarifying.
All right.
The-
Introduce. This evening. We've got first and second. Roll call, please.
Totally crazy.
Yes.
Yes.
I know we're running late, folks.
Yes.
We're going to speed through this. There's a bunch of this we can skip over here in a minute. We're almost there.
I didn't hear what you said.
Would you like
No, we need
the
a
motion to suspend?
Yes. So you want to say motion from me?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, Mr. McIntosh.
I'll second that. Mhm. Thank you.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes.
Congratulations. You need to make a motion to adopt.
We need to do the adoption.
Ordinance 13-26.
Now they're making the motion to adopt.
Right, got that in? You get that? Okay, roll call.
Yes.
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 Yes. Yes.
Yes.
So all three votes were bipartisan 8-0 with one absent. That was great.
Congratulations.
Next new ordinance 14-26.
Ordinance 14-26, an ordinance of the City of Muncie prohibiting department heads from serving on certain boards and commissions and establishing ethics and conflict of interest standards.
Make a motion that we adopt this.
Okay, this is another real simple situation. This is an ordinance prohibiting department heads from serving on certain boards and commissions and establishing ethics and conflicts of interest. Okay.
We have a motion for introduction.
And second.
And a second. Any discussion?
Yes, I'd like to kind of read it. Can't hear you, man. Go ahead, can't hear you.
Absolutely.
This ordinance was sponsored by myself. This ordinance is being proposed to explicitly prevent the mayor and future mayors from appointing department heads of his or her own staff to boards and commissions in order to preserve the integrity, impartiality, and public trust in our city's governance. When the mayor appoints a member of his own staff, it creates a clear conflict of interest. Those staff members may feel pressured to align with the mayor's agenda rather than acting independently in the public's interest. By enacting this ordinance, it will ensure that appointments to these critical positions are made on basis of merit and independence and the broader public good rather than personal loyalty. This step is vital to safeguarding democratic principles, fostering public confidence, and preventing undue influence in our city's governance structures. I respectfully ask for your support in voting yes for this ordinance.
Anyone else wishing to speak? Sir?
I've got a question. I'm not sure why we wouldn't have this as all administrative staff or, all staff from the, rather than just department heads. If we're talking about, possible conflicts, then I don't know why.
All right, and I agree with what Sarah said here. What Sarah says here is right on. This should have been thought of to begin with. It should be a simple thing of essentially what they should have said here was department heads, supervisors, their immediate staff, anyone answering to them, and contract employees. Then further down in the ordinance, it makes carve-outs for ex officio status and places where state law and Muncie ordinance says otherwise. So if you need council members or you need the mayor on a board because that's what it says, or you need the city engineer on a specific board, or you need members of the building commission on the unsafe housing board, then you can do that because that's already set up by law and by ordinance. But basically, this is to stop Gretchen Cheeseman from sitting on the Human Rights Board. This is to stop Shireen Wegley from sitting on the MRC and being just an asshole to people. This is to stop Ridenour from carving out the checks and balances, which is what he and other governments have done forever. This will stop that.
Well, wouldn't that stop Dan from sitting on the unsafe housing committee?
I think I'd have to look. I think that he might have to by law, but if not, if he just
on it,
huh?
Isn't he on it? He was so rude to that lady.
Yeah, he is on it. That's what I'm saying. I think he has to by law.
Oh, he has to by law.
I think I have to look. But if he's not, because there's some things like that they're they're part of. They're just because of.
I didn't think he'd been on it this whole time though.
Maybe he might not. I don't know. I'll have to look. But yes, this would.
Sorry.
No. That I mean, your point stands. If, and this is the way we'll know, if law does not say he has to be on it and he just appointed himself, then he will have to come off of it.
Somebody who worked for a department head, there could still be that kind of pressure or whatever, or feelings of pressure.
But they spent so long trying to figure out, it's like figuring out what the definition of is, that type of thing. They spent so long trying to figure this out.
So I guess I would say, I'm going to make a motion to amend it to include, administrative department staff also.
I'll second it.
Hold on a second. Let's be clear where your amendment would,
I guess,
in the eligibility.
Where is it? Where it says.
And they have to add an actual extra
department head.
Yeah, where it says department heads, it would say department heads and administration department staff, administrative department staff, something.
Just a clarification, Council Person Gillian, are you saying department heads and anyone that is appointed by the mayor?
Not appointed, but any staff underneath those department heads, I guess.
So for instance, superintendent and then a working foreman or something along those lines? Okay.
Yes.
Would it then include all city employees or?
It should.
Maybe except when expressly included as an ex officio role.
Mr. Beck, do we want to answer? Because I want to ask a question. Do we want to answer before we go on? Let's do.
Yeah, it's kind of how we get too far out.
Yeah.
So is the question whether or not you can prevent any city employee from serving on a board or commission?
Yeah.
Outside of anything that's provided under Indiana statute, which I'm not fully aware of Indiana statute that mandates. There are ex officio positions within the city. You're talking about something that's based on a position, not the person. And so if there's, if this supersedes that authority as well, where it's able. So, you can add in all city employees if you, the merit board would be an example of quasi judicial authority, right? So you don't want the chief of police sitting on the merit board.
Right.
But do you want to allow another city official? I don't know. That's your prerogative. And,
I don't think that would be.
or a county employee. It depends on how far you want to take it.
I guess my question is, before we get too deep into this, noting the possibility of a 4-4 vote, what does that mean to the long-term life of this particular amendments and introduction of the ordinance? How does that impact the future unless it is tabled?
Why is he asking this question
the
again?
Amendment, if it's 4-4, the amendment fails.
Did he
And then you
forget
have
since the last time he asked?
The main motion, which is the motion to introduce the ordinance that's still available. And then if that were to have a 4-4, then it would fail for introduction at this time.
Okay.
Mr. President, may I?
Yes.
Mr. Arnold, wouldn't this be similar to ordinance 3-26 where it failed for introduction and we brought it back the very next month? So if this were to fail, Mr. Councilman Mason can bring it right back next month. I personally would like to see how council is going to vote on this.
Yeah. All right.
Ask the president, don't ask me.
Yes.
Okay, I do,
There's still an amendment that needs to be voted on. So I don't want to get too far ahead and just leave this amendment hanging out here. So if the discussion's over for the amendment, I think that needs to be voted on.
Thank you. So how are we exactly wording it then?
I think we're asking you.
Oh my God. Sitting here during this was insane.
Employees, then you exclude them. You're gonna have to add them into the definition of a whereas isn't going to be a controlling definition. So you can put that anywhere as, but then I think that it needs to be added.
I agree. There's others.
Well, and that's why I think we need to include something in here, except when expressly included. Okay.
I agree. Yeah.
But in the administration more.
Yeah, in the department.
This comes down to unpreparedness, and this was pushed forward too quickly without thinking this through.
Yeah, I think that could be definable. I want to make sure, I guess that's the keys. I want to make sure that if we're adding something, that we're not just throwing words into a definition, that we actually can define what we're saying. So, so department head means any individual appointed by the executive or other executive authority to serve as the head director, superintendent, to serve as the head director, superintendent, or chief administrative officer of a city department or department head administrative staff, division or agency, whether full-time or part-time, and whether paid or unpaid.
We will vote on the amendment. Roll call, please.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
No.
No. Yes.
Yes.
No.
Mr. President?
Yes.
I make a motion that we introduce ordinance 14-26 as amended.
So the amendment that Dale and they were all fighting for died. Now they're going on
Do we have a second?
to
Any
introduce.
questions concerning this ordinance as amended? From public?
Wayne Scaife.
Wayne Scaife.
April, exactly 3 months ago today, I addressed this about department head serving on boards. So I'm glad we're finally hearing it. But why couldn't you just say all city employees? Kill everything. Because they shouldn't be working either. As the secretary that works for the mayor, as amended, is that included on this? As amended, the communications director. as amended.
Secretary working for the mayor.
So in that meeting,
Communications
at your
director, I don't
ordinance,
think sits on a board.
8C, it states this ordinance shall not
But it would
prohibit
stop her
city
from.
employees who are not department heads. So how are you going to change that? From serving on boards or commissions?
And Scaife brought up a point that really meant that was good, and it actually
change that
corrected
too.
them. She's on county stuff, which technically, city or county could be on each thing, but I don't have a problem with that.
So when I
I
addressed
just
this,
don't
I was
like
dealing with
them
Ms.
doing
Cheatham,
internal stuff.
serving on the Human Rights Commission. So I attended that meeting last month, and as it stands, we don't have I guess the Human Rights Director suspended or whatever. Nobody's saying anything, but they were trying to decide who's going to answer the phones while this person is suspended.
Who's going to answer
And
the phones?
The Community Development Director, Ms. Cheeseman, stated I can answer the phones.
She said she was going to do it.
So imagine a person calling in to Human Rights with a complaint about community development, and she's answering the phone. She's taking the complaint on herself. How far do you think that's going to go?
It's insane.
And Ms. Selby, I know you tried to give her an out by bringing up executive sessions. And Ms. Powell, thank you for bringing that up. She's still going to have access to the minutes, even if she recuses herself from those executive sessions. Also, just remember, this applies to future administrations. So those of you who feel some kind of way about this Republican administration, remember, sometimes it's going to be a Democrat administration, and this is going to come back to bite you. We should also include elected officials in this. Elected officials should not be serving on any of these boards.
Sometimes they have to, the elected officials. So, but
Also, last
as
thing I want to say, on
as
section
long
6,
as
letter B, it says
state law doesn't say it.
Ordinance, any department head serving on covered board or commission shall resign from such board or commission.
This is what he
Why are we
says
waiting
that they
30 days?
fix.
Why isn't it effective immediately? If a person is removed for cause, they're not going to wait 30 days. So why isn't this effective immediately? Why are we waiting 30 days?
Oh, no, it was the first thing he said.
I guess
they
more than
fixed.
that.
It's going to give them a chance to find replacements.
So if a person is removed for cause, are we going to give them?
Yeah,
a
I
chance to find a person?
agree. It should be
replacement?
immediately.
There's no reason. This should state immediately, like anybody else who loses the position or somebody that resigns. Yeah, I mean, I don't
Wayne
understand some of the
Scaife
words
for
in this. I
everything.
read this whole thing probably
I'm
50
there.
times.
I'm there.
Some of the stuff in here is contradictory. And I mean, I need to do a better job reading this stuff because some of it doesn't make any sense. But last thing I want to say, I said the last thing already, but last thing I want to say is let's use common sense. Let's not take this ordinance personal. Let's vote for what's right. Thank you.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Listen to this.
Yeah, and these.
Because you got department heads or act.
Right, exactly.
We have another gentleman wishing to speak. Go ahead, sir.
No, there's no.
So would this also include contract employees that are acting as department heads?
See? There you go. It's not.
He's specifically talking about
Because you got department heads or acting department heads that are on several boards.
He's talking about Adam Leach, who is a contract employee and acts as a department head who is on a bunch of boards around the city.
Full-time, part-time, paid, or
Part-time,
unpaid.
yeah, it does.
I have to.
Yes.
So just clarification, that's what we want to know. So thank you.
Yep.
Hi, Rob Miller.
This is great.
Bro, I think I was thinking about what you were saying while I was standing there and changed what I was going to talk about.
Because they kept bringing up, well, we don't want to take people off these boards because they might be city employees and they have a lot of experience. And, we might be taking them off and then they're not going to be able to help the people who are coming to these boards. And Rob says this.
Are you guys thinking that employees of the city would just take their toys and go home and refuse to help commissions if they weren't allowed to vote? I mean, the mayor can say, go over here as an ex parte member and help them. But he can tell them to do that. I don't understand what the problem is. We just take away any influence that this administration or future administrations have being able to put their thumb on the scale on these commissions that are supposed to be run by citizens. This is government equity, not I'm in charge so I can appoint my friends and people to control so that I get my way. These commissions are supposed to be run by citizens, for the citizens, not they're not for the mayor. They're not for city council to appoint.
The guy said, thank you.
It's not for that. This is another branch of the city government that allows citizens to have a say. And I just want to make sure that you're hearing it the way I was hearing it, right? That you're saying that, just to be clear, if these people can't vote, they won't help. That's how I'm taking that as a citizen right now. So that's all I have to say.
That was good.
And again, I just want to remind us all that we're voting to introduce an ordinance and we'll have a month to hear comments and make final decisions about adoption. Correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes.
And they
Yes.
vote on and they introduce that ordinance. So that's
Yes.
good. Okay.
No.
We now go into resolution 926. That's the tax abatement thing. They give them the tax abatement.
We do have a recommendation.
We've got two more big things
Okay, roll call.
and they go pretty quickly.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you.
Congratulations.
Hey, David. All right. Next up are resolutions 10-26 and 11-26. And these are the resolutions at the very beginning of the public hearing that I said they should also table along with ordinance 926, and that they should then say, hey, we need to handle this at the committee hearing. And so here we go.
26.
Okay, resolution 10-26, additional appropriation resolution of the Common Council of the City of Muncie, Indiana, relating to Fire Station number 5 project.
Okay. And the bond counsel's here now. This guy just looks sleazy.
Motion, need a motion.
Adoption.
I'll make that motion.
You have a second?
Second.
Okay. Anyone wishing to speak?
Yes, Councilor. Again, my name's Dennis Ott with Bozeman, McKinney, and Evans. I've been before you a couple times on this project.
Why'd you put your glasses on?
Able to answer any questions the council may have. I was unable to attend the committee meeting that was held a week from last Friday. I was on a family vacation, but
Yeah, but dude, you work for a big firm and you couldn't have sent anybody from your firm to handle this. I don't buy that bullshit.
to the extent there's any questions about this resolution or the other resolution or the ordinance, happy to answer them now or accept emails.
I can answer them now or accept emails.
Sure.
I want you to pass something, but I want you to email me your questions after you pass it.
I'm wondering if it makes sense to, since the ordinance that this is about is
Right.
still in committee, if it makes sense to table this.
Okay.
It does.
We'll ask legal. Should these two resolutions be set aside for now?
You
Table?
can.
You shouldn't have to ask that. You should know. Yeah, let's just keep it all together.
I mean, so you can postpone them until time that ordinance comes out of committee. And so essentially you're postponing them, not necessarily tabling them, but postponing them for a certain time.
How
and
much
attach
fun
it to
is
that ordinance
that?
coming out.
We pass everything that has to do with the funding. But then when the ordinance comes back from committee, we decide that we're not going to pass the actual ordinance.
Yeah.
So we just have $11.5 million floating in a bot that we haven't actually approved you to do anything with.
Right. I mean, just
what?
Totally nonsensical.
That makes no sense.
I know. It,
Committee, you could just table it. You could.
Could these be sent to the committee along with that so they could all be discussed together in committee?
You can make a motion to send it to a committee.
But I have a question for you. If the sponsored council member removes them, can you bring them back next month?
Now, listen, this is
Sponsoring
big.
council.
This is big. Green says if the sponsoring counselor withdraws this resolution and resolution 1026, and if they withdraw 1126, can we just refile it next month? Well, okay. But why would we do that? Why wouldn't you send it to committee so we can ask questions about it? That doesn't make any sense.
Removes.
Withdraws these from the agenda tonight, both 10 and 11.
Why would you do that?
Yeah, you have a motion to You have a motion to adopt in a second. So if you
Did
withdraw
they
those
come up
and
with a
sponsoring
sneaky
councilman
workaround
withdraw
just
those.
in case for this? So you withdraw them and that way they're not in front of the council anymore and Dan can do one of his end jam it through processes to try to fund it a different way?
That's
That's the only
exactly.
thing I can think why they would pull them.
That's exactly right. There would be no legitimate reason to do what he just said.
They're if they're on the table, they're there waiting for you next month.
Yeah.
Pulling them and resubmitting them so they're there next month is stupid.
And you know what's funny is he says if the support the counselor who pushed us forward talking like it's not himself. He's the one that sponsored it. He was the sponsoring counselor. So I don't know why he couldn't have said, well, I sponsor this. Could I not just withdraw it? But he wants to play games with it. Ludicrous.
From the agenda.
And then would have to go to be tabled then. It can be brought back up next month or whenever 926 ordinance comes off committee.
I think there's a couple of options to do that. Yeah.
Okay. Discretion.
So that requires from the motion and the second to withdraw before the sponsoring councilman withdraws.
I would do that to be cleaner. I mean, it's up for adoption right now.
I withdraw my second.
I do not withdraw my motion to adopt. I would like to hear more about the motion to send it to committee.
Okay, well, I'll make a motion to send, I guess I'll just do this one since we're talking, to send this to committee along with the ordinance 9.
I will second that.
So do we have a first and a second
Mm-hmm.
on 1026?
And are you referring to the Public Services Committee?
Yes.
May I ask, is this applying to both? Just the one?
No, it's just
All right.
applied to 1026. You're only talking about one resolution here, Dale. Try and keep up.
Together earlier, and I just wanted to clarify.
Yeah, do it one at a time.
Okay, so we have a vote.
You didn't do anything earlier, bro. You did nothing earlier. You had a public hearing where you did one vote for 10 and one vote for 11. You never did anything together like that. That's nuts.
Then,
You can debate a motion to send it to a committee, I guess.
yeah. Someone with a comment from the audience.
Forward ho.
Why would you want to withdraw this? Why would that be the answer? Can you look at me, President Green? Never, you just can't ever, like we have to talk about this every meeting I come up here. Why would you guys, what is so wrong with asking questions and getting answers to questions? I understand you might have the ear of whoever's running City Hall currently, but I would say that the rest of your counselors don't, and the public certainly doesn't. And there's not a whole lot of confidence, specifically when actions like this occur. Why would the push be to quiet things down and to remove this? It makes sense since Ordinance 926 is still stuck at committee. Hopefully somebody makes the motion to call back a second public service committee, and hopefully the administration will do what they're supposed to do at that point. If they don't, I hope you guys don't pull it off the table and it'll just languish out there forever until it dies. But if that's not going to be discussed, and that's going to at least be in committee until it either goes to a committee meeting again, or at least until next August at the meeting, why would you not go ahead and put resolution 1026 and 1126 with that, so everybody could get answers to questions that you might not have, but you only represent District 1. And I'm pretty sure that District 1 citizens have questions about this. You're not up there to do what Dan Ridenour wants. You're not up there to do what you want. You're up there to represent your citizens of District 1 and the rest of District 5, District 6, District 4, and on down through. So again, this has been a long meeting because there's a lot of lack of preparation and a lot of confusion. God, if I was Brandon, I'd run. You guys need to get it together and start doing what the citizens want and not what you think you want or what your overlords want. Table this.
I was really happy that I was able to say that so calmly.
Barbara, I haven't been up here for a while, but I've been paying attention to what's going on. And I told you guys this time about last year that this administration is running all over you guys. They are not coming to your meetings to let you know how much something's going to cost. They don't care. Remember that? Remember that when I done that not too long ago? That's what they're doing to you guys right now. And I don't care if you're Democrat, Republican, or don't know what you are. They're doing it to all of you guys as a council members.
Or
as
you
a
don't
council.
know what you are.
They
I
don't
love it.
care what you guys say. So until you cut their wings and hold
I
them
was so
responsible.
afraid of what he was going to say there. For when the W got out of there, and I didn't know where he was going for a minute. I'm so glad it was
Budget's
wings.
coming up. Guess what? Budgets are coming up. If you don't hold these people responsible, they are not going to come to them meetings and explain anything to you because they don't have to. There's no consequences to it. You know, you guys are the parents. They're the children. If you tell your children be home by 11 o'clock and they don't show up at 11 o'clock, they're in trouble. This administration is not that way. We're going to stay out till 3 o'clock and ain't a thing you can do to us about it.
I don't know
guys.
that I necessarily agree with that analogy because it's not like that. It's no one is over the other. It is solely a checks and a balances. It's three sides of a triangle that need each side to stay a triangle.
Need to pull your heads out of your rears, become a council together, put the politics beside right now, and hold this administration responsible. And I don't know.
Always a joy.
I don't know who's actually running the administration right now. I know Dan's sick right now. I understand that. And Lord help him. Hope he gets better. But we still have a city to run. And you guys still have to be responsible for that administration. And you are not being responsible for that administration. You're too many 4-4 votes, 4-5 votes. Don't know which side we're going to vote on tonight because we don't know for Republicans or Democrats at this time. Be for the people. Throw the Democrat and Republican away. Hold this administration responsible. Thank you.
Good.
Glad he didn't knock on the podium the way he knocked on the door.
Yeah, right.
We have a first and a second to send this to committee. Is that correct?
Correct.
Roll call.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes.
And they sent it to committee. Holy
Resolution 11,
cow, there is a God.
Same motion.
All right. Resolution 1126, authorizing the entry by the City of Muncie, Indiana, in a bond
Now,
agreement.
this is the other one, and this dude should have just sat down knowing that they weren't gonna send that one to committee and then not send this. I mean, I could see him doing something stupid, but we'll listen to
and
this.
related documents for Fire Station Number 5 project and taking certain other actions related thereto.
Motion to send to committee.
Second.
Motion to send to committee. No. First and a second.
Yeah.
Anyone wishing to speak? Any questions?
I would just add, council, timing wise, these are related, so it goes to committee. That's fine. We can't close on any financing until these all get approved. So,
Yeah.
That's fine. I will just mention this resolution was probably more of the subject matter of Greg Martz, who was able to attend the committee meeting a week and a half ago. This relates, there's sort of the financing component of this project, and then there's the procurement piece. This is the procurement piece, same method that was used for the last fire station project.
I have a comment, and I don't mean to be rude, but I think this is just a message that we need to know the numbers, right? Like when we have a public meeting, public hearing, we don't just care about the design. We like pretty things in Muncie, but we want to know as a council, how are we going to pay for it? And where's the money coming from?
Good.
And to not show up, I'm sorry, maybe it's a little criticism at a committee, knowing that there's millions of dollars that we have to put aside for it is really a sign of, I don't know, not in good faith, or, so I don't know. I felt disrespected that there was no, as a member, I was in the audience. I wasn't even on the committee. I just felt like I wasted my time being there. I'm sorry, with all due respect to the committee members. So I'm sorry to say
No, I
that.
understand, council member, and I apologize for not being there.
Okay.
We can get that.
That's why we're here now,
Yes,
you know.
and I will, these resolutions, the lease agreements, these are going to be payable from your local income tax dollar certified share. If you want amortization schedules for, what does that mean on an annual basis?
With all due
We can
respect,
make-
that our constituents need more details. I need more details before I make a decision. So just generalizing it like that, I don't think, to me, I don't understand it. Maybe I'm
Good
not
for
that intelligent,
Roe.
but I'd like some specifics and details. So thank
Okay,
you.
I hear you. We'll get with Bob Swintz. We'll compile that information for the committee meeting.
I'd like to see you attend the next meeting, get with Mr. Dishman.
I'd
we
like
can
to
set
see
that
you
date
attend the next
that you will
meeting.
Be there, and we can ask those questions of you and get them answered, and the public will receive those.
Yes, sir. We'll have our full
Well,
team there.
thank-
I apologize. I was on family
Holy
vacation. I
shit!
couldn't-
Did Jeff just grow a pair or what?
Okay, we understand. Thank you. Yes, sir.
We'll have our whole team there. Because why? Why? Because this is month number 2, and he's itching for that money.
Yeah, oh yeah.
He wants
absolutely.
that money so bad.
Yeah.
He can taste it.
Yeah.
And now
Yeah.
he's got to wait another month.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. We'll have our whole team
Oh
there.
yeah. We're going to bill you big time. Absolutely.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yes. And Game Daughter, it did sound like a dog bark. I don't know what that was, but it did sound like a dog bark. I heard it too.
It was not just you. There was no one here from the administration either. And actually, the questions that I really had were geared more towards them.
Yeah,
to
it wasn't
include all
the.
states'
It
contributions
was Audie.
and
Maybe.
how would
Oh,
that
he was
affect the total
coughing.
number
Yeah,
of
it was probably
borrowing?
Audie. Yes.
Any extra? What would that mean for their budgetary process? There were all sorts of questions that may not have affected or may not.
Yeah,
have
it wasn't just this man. He's from the bond council. It was also the controller, the mayor, and the mayor's people.
Glad to see you guys sending this to committee. My only concern is we still haven't got figures from the other fire station yet. I don't know if you guys have received any or not.
No, you're fine.
Station number 6. I don't even know if it's quite complete all the way yet. Or
Now, Audie was a little off on this because there are people that do know this.
Exact fees on that. So
I tried telling him that, but he must have. Audie's Audie.
And make sure that one's done before we move on. And I do a lot of traveling in the state of Indiana, and I see a lot of fire stations being built in Kentucky, and I guarantee you,
twice the debt.
Okay.
went so
Now,
extravagant.
this is the
Save
last
your
big
borrowing
thing
money.
I want you
That's-
guys to hear. I want you to hear Todd Smeckens. I want you to hear what Todd has to say. This is a good little talk
A
here.
lot of fire stations being built in.
We're almost
Kentucky, and
done,
I guarantee
folks.
you,
I know
we
it's
got the most beautiful
long. I
fire
know it's
station you've ever
long.
seen. So I'm impressed with the fire station the way it looks, but I think we could have maybe saved a little money and maybe not went so extravagant on it. And it's beautiful. Don't get me wrong; it's a beautiful building, but I think it's a little much for Muncie right now. Thank you.
Listen to
My
this.
name's Todd Smeckens, and I got a question for you guys. Do you know how much total debt Muncie has, the city of Muncie? How much it has outstanding? It's about $70 million. Okay. And the reason this guy's here from Bose is they have to structure off balance sheet, basically transactions in order to borrow money. I mean, they're going through lease arrangements and you're basically almost twice the debt that the state constitution says that you can have. I mean, your regular bonds are 42 million, 38 million's coming from operating leases financed by guys like these because the administration's tapped out. They can't borrow money. No, see? So they're working these deals on the side, setting up these operating agreements by these building corporations, leasing it back to all, Ball State's not involved. The hospital's not involved. I mean, you're tapped out. If the 11 million would exceed your borrowing limit. That's why they hire expensive people like these to arrange the debt and have been able to move it from 42 million to 80 million. That's before you even discuss the 11.5 million that they're wanting right now. And they're using these guys to work around your debt limit. So you might want to take a look at the numbers. And when it goes to committee, hold some folks accountable. Thanks.
I liked it.
I just want to address that last comment. The structure that we're employing here is not off the sheet financing. It's not uncommon. Hamilton County is AAA rated. Carmel, Fishers, Noblesville, Westfield, all highly, highly rated municipalities in the state of Indiana, all use lease financing structures. In fact,
It's not off sheet in the sense that it's not shady. It's not illegal. It's questionable in my mind. They're not doing anything illegal. This guy's not doing anything illegal. It's something that we shouldn't be doing.
Well, and he goes on to say that this has been legal here for, decades.
Decades.
Just because it's legal doesn't mean it's on sheet.
Yeah, that's right.
On
Doesn't mean it's right. Yeah.
On paper, the city does not owe them money.
That's right. That's right. That is
The
right.
building corporation owes them money.
That's right. That's right.
That's what he means by off sheet.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Not that it's illegal.
Yeah.
But that it is not recognized as city debt.
Yeah. Yeah.
Period.
Mm-hmm.
100%.
Doubt there's a city the size of Muncie in the state of Indiana that doesn't have a lease financing structure.
I'm
We're doing, I'm just saying this because I don't want there to be an implication that this is some kind of a sham or a trick. This financing will go through a rating agency process. It's structured just like all other financings in the state of Indiana. If you couldn't do lease financings in the state of Indiana, there'd hardly be any school buildings out there for kids to go to. It's just a fact. So it's a mechanism that's been around for decades. I
Well,
just
we're
wanted to be
not
clear.
talking about a school.
This is not an unusual
So-
financing we're involved here.
Thank you. Any other questions, comments? Roll call.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes.
They sent that to committee too. See how quickly he got up and left?
Yeah, other business.
I was just going, just as I did last meeting, I read a letter and you addressed that, and I just wanted to
Now,
allow you the opportunity.
here we go.
to
We're at the end here, folks.
Tell them what you told me in regards to the conversation you have with the administration regarding negotiations with AFSCME. Because I appreciate that you did follow up on my request, and I just want the public to know what was said.
Do you, yes, you have a letter?
Just want to,
Oh,
I have a letter? I don't have a letter.
Something was supposed to have been sent to you today concerning that.
Let me back up one step. Let's just be clear for the record, so there's no guessing when people are reading the minutes, that the last resolution was sent to the Public Service Committee.
Yes.
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 Sorry.
And I know that that seems obvious, but when you're reading through the minutes, if
Okay.
no one actually says that, then it's.
I was
Now.
told that they sent a letter to you,
Who's they?
I was told they sent a letter to you. Who's they?
they being legal counsel that was at the AFSCME meeting, and where that.
I love it,
stood,
Ro.
because I'd
You did a
asked for
good
that,
job.
And they said they had sent that to you.
And he shouldn't have been mad. You spoke from your heart, and what you said was correct.
So I would have that for this evening. I know what I was told, but no, it was not from you.
Okay, I was just, I didn't.
No.
I didn't either. I get it.
Because I'd asked for it, they said we sent it to you. I don't know if you got it.
Why? Why would you? Why would that happen?
Yeah, let me look.
Me too.
Informative memo at 5:00 this afternoon. And
Yeah, look at that.
it was sent to me when it appeared to be more of a courtesy copy. Do you need that?
I don't have it.
Okay.
They told me they sent it to you. They didn't say they sent it to me, but it's for information to give tonight.
Okay.
Would you care to read that? It has to do with AFSCME.
It's
Okay,
9
there's a-
pages.
Yes. There's an informational memorandum attached.
Now listen to this. This is about the AFSCME. Listen,
9 pages.
Oh, my.
he don't read all
And then
9.
there's a body. Okay, there's a message from
He reads the
city,
Summary.
Attorney's office regarding the negotiation status. Is that what you
Yes,
like read?
that's what
Okay.
we're asking.
The city administration requested that our office provide a brief update regarding negotiation with AFSCME. At the conclusion of the party's last bargaining session in December of 2025, the city presented AFSCME with a wage proposal that provided the same pay increase offered to the city's other bargaining units. AFSCME declined the proposal at that time and advised that it would contact the city to schedule another bargaining session when it was prepared to continue negotiations. As previously communicated to AFSCME employees earlier this calendar year, because the parties had not yet reached a successor collective bargaining agreement by January 1st, 2026, the provisions of the Evergreen Clause have remained in effect while negotiations continue. The city remains willing to meet and continue bargaining upon AFSCME's request. Let me know if you have any questions. That's from the City's Corporation Council.
Did that answer your question?
Yes, well, you answered my question. I just wanted the public to.
Okay.
So negotiations are ongoing.
Yes, sir.
Can I ask a question, Christopher? Because I can't
Yeah.
remember.
Yeah.
How long has AFSCME been working on this same Evergreen contract? How many years?
I'll have to ask. I will text Nate in the morning. I think they are on the Evergreen. So for those that might not know, what that means is sometimes they do a contract. Maybe it's for a year. Most often they do a contract for 3 years at a time. So we're in negotiations in 2026 for our contract that will start in January of 2027. And then that contract will be good for January 2027, for the whole year 2027, whole year 2028, and whole year 2029. And then in 2029, we will then go into negotiations again for a new contract for the next 3
best
years.
case scenario.
Best case scenario. For some unknown reason, Ridenhour has been doing negotiations at 1 year at a time. He's the first mayor that's done that in a very long time. Negotiations is not fun for anybody. So they like to do it as infrequently as possible. Yeah. So what happens is you normally have a clause in some contracts like that that says if you're in negotiations or if something happens and you don't go to negotiations, basically, if your contract ends and you don't have a new contract set for the next period, that if you have an evergreen clause, basically that means that until you get a new clause, just because your contract expired, it doesn't mean you're just screwed. It means you still are protected by the old contract that you're still under until a new contract is put in place or until you make something through. So that's what that is. And I think that they're still on the evergreen clause of 2024, maybe 2025. But it's been a couple years, and AFSCME has basically had problems since Ridenhour's been in office, which was January of 2020. I think the first time they negotiated was either 2022 or 2023, and ever since then they've had problems.
Okay. That's what I thought. Basically, it's been his entire term, this term, that
Definitely.
they've been on the same contract.
Definitely this term. So he started in second term in January 2024, but I think the problem started in 2023.
Okay.
And they got something settled, but I think they're evergreen. They're still in the evergreen for 2024 or 25. But yeah, that's that.
Okay, thank you.
And yeah, no, that was a great question for people that might not know. And basically, so what they're saying here is, Nora sent a letter at the last time to the president, a formal letter saying, hey, nothing's going on with AFSCME. We want you, the council president, to get with the mayor and find out what the hell's going on. And she did it nice, in a nice tone. And then Green did that. And instead of Green speaking up and mentioning that, he put it off on this. And basically the council attorney read a note from the city's attorney. There are two different attorneys. The council has an attorney and Ridenhour has an attorney. And Ridenhour's attorney sent the council attorney a letter saying, yeah, well, we're, negotiations have broken down, but we're ready to go back and negotiate anytime AFSCME is. We're just waiting on them. And then listen to this. The council, the AFSCME union president's here, Nate Burgess.
President of AFSCME. Mr. Basham, if you recall.
And he was a street department employee for a long time. I think he now works in parks, I think.
Oh, you was in there when the meeting started?
As was Mr. Dishman. Yes.
He was not there. Yeah, he has not made one. They come out and said,
keep in mind that pro-union Jerry has not made any of the negotiations. Jerry all the time talking about union, and he's not made one of the negotiations, at least for AFSCME.
We're going to give you 4%, not in the negotiations. This is all we can get.
So Nate says, we're in the negotiations, but prior to our negotiations, the administration said, we're going to give you a 4% raise, you guys all across the board. And that's got nothing to do with the negotiations. That's where we're at.
We appreciate everything you guys have done. We've crunched the numbers, and 4% is all we can give you. It's not part of negotiations. Thank you. We appreciate that.
Thank you. We appreciate that.
We had a brief, they handed out their letter of what they wanted. We went and caucused, come back. Mr. Basham was not there.
So Basham was there at the start, but then when they come back, then Basham's not there. So what the hell?
Show of hands.
They need to let Nora or someone else that would be willing to set through these things go.
How many people has been part of the negotiations?
Previously?
Just negotiations and period, period.
Have we been aware of?
Okay. Been part of them.
Oh, I've been.
Okay. Of course you have. Of course you have. Just in general.
Right.
And
Okay.
he was
When you go in there,
talking
you negotiate the tips of your fingers. Okay. I give you 2 fingers, you give me 1. Okay. Well, this administration, all they have done is cut us in half. So when we left out of there, we said, we are not negotiating. We're going to enforce the evergreen clause, and we appreciate the 4%. What pissed them off? They wanted to caucus, come back, say, well, now the 4% is off the table. So until that 4%.
So they told them before they started negotiating, we're giving you 4%. And they said, thank you. They then started negotiations. And the city said, well, this is what we want from you, in order for us to do things. The 4% was not part of negotiation. They said, we're just giving it to you out of the kindness of our heart. Then they start negotiating. The city says, we want to take all this stuff from you. You know, we're not going to give you more vacation time. We're not going to pay your uniform allowance. We're not going to do this. We're not going to do that. You can't do this. You know, your clinic isn't free. Just various things. And all they were doing was taking from them. So the union went and talked about it, and they said, no, we're not okay with that. But thank you for the 4%. You know, that's good, but we're done. The city said, well, great. If we're not negotiating, that's fine, but we're no longer giving you the 4%. What?
It's our account. I'm telling you now, as union president, we are done negotiating. We are done giving shit up. That's fine.
Once again, I am asking the council to hold this.
I don't know why Audie got it to talk. This wasn't a voted on thing, but they just let him talk at this point. Yeah, I love Nate Burgess. I would love to have him on. The dude does a podcast where he talks about motocross or derby crashing shit up, and I love him. We won't do it tonight, but sometime I'll show you his show. It's awesome. I love Nate Burgess.
Responsible for the employees of the city of Muncie asked me that I've been asking you for 2.5 to 5 years to do. I've been up here begging you people, please hold this administration responsible for these people. They're not getting what they deserve, but yet they're still going out here taking care of your stuff. They're still out here working their fingers to the bones. They're still out here doing stuff that they're not technically supposed to be doing, but they're doing it for the city of Muncie because they like their jobs. I can take half them guys right now, put them in the union.
Audie is in the union. He's a heavy machine operator, a skilled trade. And Audie says, I could take half these guys right now, put them in the union and skilled trade and pay them more, work them less, and you guys would be screwed.
Put it in the operators union. They'll make double what they're making now. But they love their job at the city of Muncie. They love the job working for the city of Muncie. Hold this mayor responsible, the new mayor, old mayor, whichever mayor's in there right now, this administration. Make them take care of these people. I've begged you guys for years to do this. Reach down, grab some. Make sure you still got them if you got them. And hold this responsible. Get these folks paid. Bullshit.
I'm going to come back to this guy on another show because I'm going to do Jackie Fisher sent me some stuff. This is important what this guy's talking about, and we're going to talk about this, but I'm not going to do it tonight. We will see this guy and we will listen to his presentation, and I'm going to do some stuff, but we're not going to do it tonight. So I'm going to skip over him for tonight, but we will come back and talk about this guy coming up very soon.
Sir Bilbrey.
I'll let you hear this and we'll be done.
First and foremost, I want to thank you guys for your action on Ordinance 926, Resolution 10 and 1126. So I want to thank you guys for doing the right thing on that. I commend all of you for doing that. Also, I want to thank Councilor Gullion for speaking up about the irregularities with the process for those contracts. And now that we've got my thanks out of the way,
we'll do that at the end.
You guys, I will tell you the things that I'm displeased about. Again, after the meeting on June 1st, 2026, I sent an email to our council president and council vice president asking about the Public Service Committee meeting. I'm glad that we saw that little weirdness between you and the attorney about the email. You're going to have to figure out your email situation. It's crazy what you got going on. The fact that you couldn't email me and say, hey, you need to ask Jerry, or hey, we don't know, or the date is this, is just asinine. I mean, it's below you as a human being that you can't do your job to communicate, to provide information. That's ridiculous, okay? I wanted to say that. Number two, I want to talk about Resolution 826. No one brought Resolution 826 up. The Controller's Office did not meet the deadline that was set forth by the situation, 14 days.
provided some information to you guys 3 days after the deadline, which means what's the point of having a deadline if you can do it anytime after? You guys get 3 more days. An excuse. We don't want you to have 3 more days. We want you to be on the deadline. The fact that they didn't provide you guys what you had requested, they provided you just some things that were already available. I'm very concerned about this. And Resolution 826, Muncie Code, Muncie Ordinance 3208, and Indiana Code 364621, all three let you guys know that you have subpoena power. You guys need to do what we've talked about the entire meeting. You need to take place your role in city government, and you need to start acting accordingly. You are the checks and balances against the executive branch. And if you don't do that, you guys just become part of the executive branch or ran over by the executive branch, and you should not allow that to happen. So thank you very much, and just start using your emails. I don't know what else to say. Just email. Just email. Can you do that? Moving forward, you promised me you'd work on it.
Thank you.
Thank you. Where are you going to work on it?
Yes.
You are going to work on it. So I got you on the record. You are going to work on responding.
Responding, absolutely.
All right. We'll talk about it next meeting.
Okay. Miss Chanel Stewart.
So that was, I was happy about that.
Miss Elizabeth Etzel.
And a lot of the people that signed up weren't there because it was a 4-hour-long meeting. So that's just kind of what happened.
Other business. Okay.
All right, thank you. I just want to, the best way that I know to do this, I believe that we need to, as a council, have an investigation into some of these procedural irregularities that have been brought to light about the contracts for Jeff Howe in his position as MRC director and as deputy mayor. I will say that a lot of this information, I will attribute that to Kristopher Bilbrey for bringing some of this to our attention, and looking at.
She kind of got my name right.
At the contracts, I believe that there are irregularities, and I believe that we need to look into this. Looking at the code, and then I spoke with our attorney today. I think that I'll probably need to bring this as a resolution next month. Unfortunately, that's probably the cleanest way to be able to do this, to vote at that point, to see what council is willing to do. It's a kind of a vague code, but I just want to let you know that that is my plan, to bring this back next month as a resolution for us to investigate what looks like procedural irregularities with these contracts.
Agreed.
And that's a big thing. That's an absolute big thing because, we've seen it. It's something that they should have seen. They should have been seeing this, or they should have been following this along. It shouldn't have been on me or us to bring this to them. They should have known that, but they didn't. I'm not going to bitch, though. I'm happy that they're doing something. That's good. She took it to the council attorney, and the council attorney looked and, look, hey, it looks like there's some things wrong. He said, here's your option. This is what you can do. She said, that's what we're going to do. That's what we should do. And he said, well, we can prepare something for August. So I look forward to see what that is. I look forward to see what they find. I hope they figure something out, and I hope they can get it together. Here is my last thing I'm going to end on. I am not just going to purposefully email Green and try to get him to not do something. If I don't need to email him until November, I won't email him till November. But if something arises between now and whenever, and I need to email him, I will. Matter of fact, I can think of the thing that probably matters. I'll probably wait about a week. And in this time next week, I will probably reach out and email him and ask him if he can tell me if he knows when the next committee meeting is for the Public Services Committee. And that's the same thing I emailed him last month, and he refused to respond on. And he said on the record, that he would work on doing better. And I got responding, and he said, yes, responding. So we will work on that. I will keep you guys posted. I will keep you guys posted with what's going on with Resolution 826 with the Public Services Committee, and we will do everything we can to live stream it. I will take a video camera there, and if they are not live streaming it, I will record so we won't make that mistake again as soon as they have that. And the last thing is I will keep you guys posted on everything else that goes on. I am working on the ARC thing that Jackie sent me that has to do with that guy that was in the vest. So we will be talking about that coming up. And other than that, thank you guys for sticking with us.
No.
What?
One more thing coming up. We don't know when, but Brando said he'll be on.
Oh, yeah.
The property tax.
Yeah. I've told everybody that. We've got that coming up.
I know, but we've got it confirmed now.
Yeah. That is important. We will be doing that, and I'll talk more about that tomorrow. I'm glad she said that. So we are going to do the JD property tax thing. We're going to have Brandon on, and we're going to it'll probably be me and Brandon and Kate doing the thing for a minute. And then towards the end, we'll have John Bartlett come on, and we'll have him give his 2 cents about what's going on, and we'll break this down in real human type language so people can understand it. It will be one that you will not want to miss because it will be talking about JD's. It'll be talking about JD's property tax proposal. So that will be big. I don't know that it'll be this week. I'm going to be working on Brandon and Bartlett's schedule. So whenever they can do it, it'll be this week, maybe first of next, but we will get it done. So be looking for that. And I will be at the Board of Works meeting in just a couple of hours at 9 a.m. So tomorrow should be an interesting show too. I am so sorry it has been late show. I thank you guys for hanging out. Yesterday was a busy day. We had a lot to talk about, and that's that. Please hit the like button before you leave if you have not. We would greatly appreciate it. And you guys know where to find us and what to do. We thank you all for everything. God bless each and every one of you. Have a wonderful evening and have a great Wednesday, and we will see you tomorrow evening. Take care. Good night. Goodbye.